Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So we're not in the middle of a conversation. Darn.
I mean,
Nah.
just talked about someone plowing themselves into a town.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, and a little one-seater aircraft. My area has a lot of people who enjoy a little personal airtime, which is cool, but it has its downsides. As I said, some poor bastard plowed his aircraft into a town.
Well,
It's given me another reason to further strongly consider moving out of the United States.
As if you needed more.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just I'm broke. There's no chance. I have a buddy that said he is considered he would take me with him if a civil war actually broke out, but I don't know if I don't want to have to rely on that. You know?
Mood.
Yeah, reasonable. But yeah, welcome everyone to the liberation of St. Cardaius Rest. When we last left off, the team had made all haste to Mount's Edge in pursuit of plot and treachery.
Mm-hmm.
You had arrived in the town, witnessing some degree of aggressive enforcement of local law by a recently formed local militia, by the looks of it, led by Father... Shit, I forget his name.
Vicar Allman. And like that's
Something or other.
I want to say his name begins with an E, but I don't remember
I
beyond
might
Yes,
actually
Vicar
have-
Alderman Emmanuel.
that was it. I would have written down a note for that person as like somebody we knew, but I'm fairly certain I'm going to execute him. So
Can I chop him in half? first?
Yeah, you head into the town. Nualia and Agrotrom had met with the vicar, had been escorted towards the town hall, while Flux snuck off to investigate a local garage at the behest of a young woman who had snuck over to the Taurox. Riven, Lanewald, Packard, and Feely were left in the Taurox.
no.
Oh no, Lanewald had gone with you.
Yes, Lanewald was
Packard,
with me.
Feely, and Riven were left in the Taurox. And yeah, we pick up just after Flux had taken out a guard, and Riven had caused quite a loud distraction as various alarms and warning sirens go off within the Taurox.
And while talking with the vicar, Nualia is going to have her Vox unit broadcasting specifically to the to Feely's Vox unit on our encrypted frequency.
All right.
But I'm assuming that I can do that without that being immediately obvious. It's just like I'm just speaking.
I'd say you could manage that.
Okay.
So, Nualia, Agrotrom, Lanewald, you are escorted by Emmanuel and his 4 guards into a back room of the town hall.
Hadn't
you can
you
see
already been there? Like they were already talking.
Yeah, I think we had started talking, and Flux had just gotten inside the warehouse after shooting a dude.
Yeah. Cause I remember I was gonna ask you for a distraction, but then you started talking to him, so I was like, hey Riven. And then all hell was with Riven, and I was in the middle of like running inside the warehouse.
So, Nualia, Emmanuel turns to you, arms outstretched in greeting. Well, dear sister, what can I help you with in our fair town?
seeing the outstretched arms, Nualia is actually excuse me a moment. I see bots are trying to become slightly more intelligent. We had a bot. There was a bot in the chat. One of those like, "Do you want to become more famous?" But they decided to use symbols instead of just letters.
Lovely.
Weird. Anyway.
But from what I remember, the alarms had already gone off when you guys were talking.
Yes.
Like his guards were already like reacting, and y'all had already had your original talk with him in the office.
We had gotten started on the talk. We had not gone through any kind of particulars.
That's fair.
And then one of his guards had gone off to investigate.
Yeah.
But Nualia is going to hold out a hand to him as a handshake. Just say, "First, allow me to properly introduce myself. I am Sister Lieutenant Nualia of the Order of the Bleeding Rose, as well as representing the 999th of the Astra Militarum."
He nods and steps forward, holding out a meaty hand to grasp yours.
She'll give his a firm shake. She says, "We have been tasked with helping to relieve the rebellion that has fallen upon this planet, and we had received some word of the rebel malicious troops moving up, and we came to see how things were in Mount's Edge. It actually surprises me. We did not have intel that your town was a supply route to the fortress, so this is actually very good news."
Indeed, we are the closest route up to Saint's Watch from Cardaius Tomb and Eudicium. The other alternative is to go all the way around to the western side of the plateau. Not an easy route with the battle lines being what they are.
Of course. Because we had more recently finished breaking the siege of Eudicium and were doing a little bit of scouting of our own. But,
fortuitous indeed.
Indeed. Has there been any trouble here, Vicar?
Trouble? Not more than is to be expected. There is a certain degree of unrest, what with the conflict so near our door. But I do my best to maintain the Emperor's peace.
I must say that I must ask, have there been any attempts by the heretics to take Mount's Edge?
Indeed, there was one. About a month ago, when the fighting first flared up. Large number of troops arrived, paraded about, informing us that their great leader, Otgar Thorn, now controlled the planet. A very great display of cowardice and arrogance, if you ask me. It was not long before they pulled out, apparently resistance being much greater than they anticipated at Eudicium.
And they... I must admit, even with the resistance at Eudicium, and I'm sure with their desperation, I find it strange that they would give up so easily on such a vital route to Saint's Watch. As far as I had understood, Saint's Watch still heavily resists them, yes?
Yeah, gives you a nod. Yes, indeed it does, much to our benefit. However, I feel they felt Eudicium would probably be a better victory for them. If they took Eudicium, they would cut off supplies to our entire front. It wouldn't matter if Saints Watch still stood.
That is fair. It is the linchpin of all of the supply routes. That would have been death to the entire loyalist resistance. But since then, there have been no attempts from them to retake Mount's Edge.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Let's see. 1.
He pauses, thinking for a moment, frowning a little. No, not that I can recall. Some of my men reported seeing a few scouts out and about coming from the south, but no significant force.
Very well. Well, even still, had they come, I am sure that your militia would have given them a very proper fight. I am assuming that these are not, as the regular militia. This is the ecclesiastical militia, yes?
Indeed, these are levies raised by my own hand and funds, but they are all veterans of the planetary militia force.
Ah, then still trained soldiers. Good to know.
Indeed.
Then yes, they would have definitely given the heretics a good thrashing, I should say.
Yes, all of Fawn's lot tend to be the younger boys, I find.
Indeed, we've seen some of the same. We actually captured a few prisoners ourselves at Eudicium, and indeed, most of them were of the younger variety. It is a shame.
Idealistic young fools, swayed from the true path.
I would like to roll an insight check.
Go for it.
Well,
You can choose to wrath that if you want.
nah, I'm gonna save that for something a little more important.
He
Like, cutting this
seemed
fucker's head off?
pretty genuine in his statement.
Oh, and just so I don't forget, I keep getting 3 for my objectives. I'm gonna roll something different. Okay, there we go. Alright.
Yeah, he seems fairly genuine, very passionate.
There was something that had come up. We had heard word of several shipments that had been sent up this way. Have you heard anything of that, Vicar?
Shipments from the Astra Militarum.
No, from the heretics.
No, I feel we would have noticed such a thing. There have been a couple of supplies from our loyalist forces at Eudicium, but not much else.
When did those supplies arrive?
About 3 days ago. I understand they ran the blockade. It was a valuably needed resource, I can assure you.
Out of character, how long ago did we break the siege?
About a day ago. Or
No, it's been
2
longer. No, it's been longer
No, it's
than
been
that.
about 5 days.
Yeah, because we had downtime after breaking the siege.
Indeed, you did. Yeah, it's been approximately 5 days.
Okay, with that, does that change what Emmanuel
Nope.
says? Okay. Indeed, ran the blockade. That's an interesting way of putting it, since the siege ended. More time than that. But
He gives you a puzzled look. Indeed. Well, the drivers said that they were pursued.
you said they came from Eudicium. Which specific direction?
They approached from the southeast.
In the southeast. And what color was the truck, if I might ask?
The sky blue of our loyal militia force.
Which, out of character, both loyalists and the enemies have been using the sky blue. It's just the enemy have had the red sash, right?
They were originally the same force.
Yeah. Have the loyalists been using the red sash?
Nope.
No, okay. That
Has been the mark of the traitors.
Okay. Let's see. Uh, Were there any other shipments that were received any time in the last month?
We had one other, though that was a civilian vehicle. They were refugees from some of the surrounding towns. As we understand it, they had been razed to the ground.
Fair. We had received reports of a settlement along the southern road that was gone. Just no survivors.
He nods. We have heard similar of our closest neighbor to our southeast. At a junction of three roads, there once stood a quite pleasant little town. Now little more than rubble, I hear.
Yes, that is also what we had heard and seen on our way here, which is unfortunate. It looked like a quaint little village.
Gives you a solemn nod and bows his head for a moment. May our Lord God Emperor watch over their benighted soul.
There was something else as well. Have you heard from any other Astra Militarum forces?
No, none of your kin have arrived in the town recently.
That is very interesting.
Are we to expect some of your fellows?
That is very interesting, Vicar, because before I even set out to arrive here, a detachment was sent here to help secure this town, seeing as we were very concerned of certain goings-on here. And from last report, they were supposed to arrive several hours ago. And in fact, had already gotten in contact.
Indeed. Well, my men have informed me of no Astra Militarum units in this area.
Out of character, Hugh, the sign that Fielson told me about, that the inner circle dudes were tattooing on themselves, where did he say they were tattooing themselves?
He said it varied.
It varied.
Just somewhere on that person.
Okay, so it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
I will do one more insight check against him.
Go for it.
You've got to be. Well, the Wrath die came up as a success, so I'm not as concerned. So I will Wrath that.
All right.
Oof.
Nope.
Unfortunate.
Almost the same roll.
Yeah, he seems to be telling the truth from what you can tell. He seems genuinely concerned by the idea that some of the Astra Militarum are missing. Well, this is something that must be investigated then. If they have disappeared nearby, I'm sure my men will find them.
Indeed. That would be extremely useful. I had not heard any word of any enemy activity in this area, though we have seen some evidence of it, but the Eastwood Road was supposed to be safe.
That is worrying to hear. You there? What's your name again? Francis, yes? Yes. Go gather up some of your men. Start scouting the nearby areas. See if you can find any sign of them. One of the men carrying a laskin nods and heads out the door. And we will leave you there for now and move over to Flux.
I'll BRB, then I gotta go to the restaurant.
All right. Flux, you step through the door into a wide garage area. Blank concrete walls lit by unshaded bulbs hanging from the ceiling. There's a variety of trolleys and carts on wheels scattered about, covered in tools and bits of equipment. There are a couple of people moving about at one end of the at the far end of the garage from you. There appears to be a door in the wall near them and a window that looks into what appears to be an office of some kind. There are two vehicles in the chamber. A small civilian truck, a large tractor of some kind with some kind of plow affixed to the back. And in the third empty space is the chassis and axle of a vehicle, either partially or mostly dismantled or partially constructed. You're not sure which.
But definitely not a Torox.
You can't really tell.
Great. I'm gonna try and put the body in a shadowy spot that's gonna be a little bit difficult to see on first glance and check that out.
Give me a stealth roll.
I believe in you.
+1 for the cloak.
No. You're hiding the body and the body doesn't have a cloak. Well.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you drag the body inside over to a corner where you find a large piece of machinery, maybe some kind of lathe, and you manage to stuff the body underneath it, covered by the main body of the machine. You don't think anyone's going to spot it there. You make your way over to the frame. Go ahead and tell me what you're looking for.
I want to see if I can tell what kind of vehicle this was, and if it is in fact a Torox, I want to see if I can find any identifying marks that would link it to the group that was supposed to be here.
Considering it's just a metal beam frame with an axle and four wheels attached, there's not going to be much in terms of identifying marks, but you can certainly see if you can tell if it's a Torox. Give me a tech roll.
Glory.
All right. It's very hard to tell exactly what vehicle this was, but it has the same general length, width, and wheel layout of a Torox. It could be a Torox. It could be a very similar kind of truck. You're not entirely sure.
Lovely.
What do you do?
How many people did you say I'm in here with?
There are two others at the far end of the room, standing by a door, chatting. One of them's holding a mug.
And you said there was an office.
Yes, beyond the two of them. Presumably through the door they're standing by.
Lovely. Yeah, fuck it. Is there anything around here that, is something that's small and could be easily thrown? Preferably, some kind of rock or metal?
Give me an awareness roll. There's a fair few tools lying about. You could probably toss one of them.
Lit. I want to, I want to position myself closer to them and throw it away towards the empty door that I just came through. And if one breaks away, I want to see about stealth murder. And if both of them go away, I'm just going inside.
Alright, go ahead and give me a stealth roll again. You can have your
Can I
plus one
plus
this
one
time.
What the fuck?
Ooh.
I'm in danger.
Alright. Yeah, you sneak up towards them, hiding behind the civilian truck. You toss the wrench backwards where you came. It clatters loudly across the rockcrete, and you hear the two men start. The hell was that? I don't know. Maybe it's Jim being a fucking twat. Oh, go have a look then. Fine, pussy. One of the men starts wandering towards you. He walks past the truck and heads over, and then stops, looking down. It's a wrench. He bends over to pick it up and then turns around. It's just a. Who the fuck are you?
Forget stealth
Bravo.
murdering.
Going
All right.
loud.
Give me a combat initiative or roll flux. All right, ties go to players.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Nice.
I'm still using my silenced thing, and I've still got 2 reloads on that.
All right.
Jesus.
Can I possibly try and shoot both of them?
You have to declare a multi-attack before you roll.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that definitely gets him. You can shift 2 of those 6s.
I'm gonna put one of those in glory.
Yay. More glory.
All right. Yeah, how do you want to kill this guy?
Flux isn't fancy. Just clean shot to the throat. Make him shut up. Drop him quick.
He drops to the ground with a gurgle, and you hear, "Oh shit, Derek!" And the sound of running feet as another man rounds the corner, lasgun raised. And yeah, he gets his turn.
Bum, 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 bum,
All right,
Um,
4
I
successes
was
to
gonna
hit.
say, is there any chance I could have moved to get behind some sort of cover from the other direction? Because I would have assumed that they would be coming after me with move action, or is that not?
I would say yes, you still have your move action. Or you can
Yeah.
spend your move action to make a stealth roll and try and hide where you are.
Oh, that's valid. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that.
All right, go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Keeping the +1.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right. How do you try and hide?
As I shoot this guy, I'm not even looking to see if it hits. Just, kind of turning and running into the shadows, closer, trying to make my way closer to the door so that I can position myself, because he called for another guy. So
You would
I'm
have to move
definitely,
around the truck into his line of sight, or
yeah.
around the other side of the truck, which would be a longer path.
Um, I'm trying to get the shortest path out of sight, but also trying to position myself closer to the door than this guy is, putting myself kind of between him and his friend that he just called.
Okay, let me just draw a thing quickly.
That would be helpful, yes. Are you done yet?
All right, you are blue. That is the guy you shot.
I can see nothing.
It's at the bottom of the screen here.
Here.
Ah.
So that's the guy you shot. That's the door to the office. That's the office window. This is a truck.
Hmm. Can I move that token?
No, you'll have to
Okay.
ping where you want to go. Or you can
I'm
drag your
gonna.
token onto the screen and I'll move it there.
I'm just gonna move over to this corner so I can duck behind cover if and when I get shot at.
All right. The second guard runs around the corner, lasgun raised. Let's see if he spots you. He pans the lasgun back and forth between the truck and the other vehicle. His gun passing over you in the dark. What the fuck is going on? He turns and runs over to the body, kneeling down to check on him.
I would like to shoot him in the head. No, I don't care actually where I shoot him. I just want him also, like, not in my way now.
Give me an attack roll. All right, that hits him. And you can shift 1/6.
You said 1?
Yeah. Yeah, you shoot him in the back, and he drops to the ground, crumpling over the body of his friend.
I am then going to try and stealth move myself to be right next to, but like by the door. See if I can hear anyone coming from that direction.
Give me an awareness roll. You listen for a moment at the door. You hear no signs of movement.
Lit. Do I have an ETA of like how difficult and long it would be to drag the body to a shadowy corner? Bodies.
About 30 odd seconds each, give or take.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna move some bodies.
Give me another stealth roll.
Do you wanna hide a body? Doesn't have to be in one piece.
Just eat it. That's a good tactic.
All right, yeah, you stuff the bodies away.
And yeah, I'm going to go through the door, clear my corners, and see what I can find.
All right. We will hop over to Riven now.
Hello.
Riven, you've been listening in on Nualia's conversation through Feely's Vox. And as you're doing so, Packard nudges your shoulder with a foot from his seat in the turret. Some of the militia have been going to the same building. Haven't seen any of them come out yet.
You think we should go check it out?
I think you should let the lieutenant know.
That's a good call. All right, I'm gonna Vox over to Nualia and just tell her that.
Didn't she have her speakers on and her head thing open?
She does not have her speakers on, no.
Oh, good.
She is broadcasting her voice to Feely's backpack on our encrypted channel.
Which is fine because Feely's with me. I
Yeah,
think?
I'm just saying if you randomly Vox her.
Mhm.
Okay.
Which, admittedly, I would totally do. So
I mean,
So
I feel
no
like
one
as
will
a
hear
priest
what
you would
is.
also know.
No one will hear what is said to Nualia through the Vox.
okay, perfect.
It
Okay.
only transmits her voice externally.
Yeah, but I thought she had her helmet down.
Yeah, the visor is up. Yeah, it's... But it's still...
It's still an
like,
in-ear Vox.
yeah.
Okay. That's what I wasn't sure about.
Yeah, thankfully
Okay.
it's not like most movies where it's like one person's listening over the ear and everyone for the next 5 feet can hear them.
Yeah, that's not really how they're designed.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah,
anything
I'm gonna
Nualia.
Vox over to Nualia.
Yep, what do you say?
I mean, I'm just probably just gonna repeat what Packard said. So remind me again, where are they headed into?
Building across the street from us.
Okay.
3 doors down from the town hall.
Okay. So, Lieutenant, looks like we got a bunch of militiamen moving into the one of the buildings near the town hall. Not seeing them come out again though, so might be a thing to look into.
Nualia, while talking with the vicar, will hold up a hand and listen. And then she'll just say, "If you'll excuse me for just one moment, vicar." And she'll vox back and say, "If you think you've caught sight of some of our friendly troops out there in the wilds, then definitely give it a look. You shouldn't need my permission for that." And then she'll
Wait,
sit back down. "All right, Vicar. I apologize for the interruption." She's still broadcasting.
yeah, okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna close the channel and just motion Packard. All right, we should go check it out.
Yeah. Nods and begins to climb down. Still a bunch of them out there.
Hmm. Well,
Since I've got my Vox going, at least
Oh, yeah.
listening, have I heard any of this? Because I assume we're all on the same channel.
Yeah, that would make sense
Yeah,
that
you
we're
will
on
be
there.
on the same channel, yeah.
squad group chat. I like it.
You only got 3 Voxes, so why would you put them on different channels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of insert here then. Nice distraction. Still
Hey.
have 3 bodies that I'm hiding.
Ah, okay. And I don't suppose you're seeing more come in, are you?
Not anybody following me yet.
All right.
Definitely something that could be a Taurox here, but it's being
Hmm.
ripped apart. Not a lot to tell.
Might be worth looking into.
I'm going
Yes,
into an
at this
office
point,
now.
Ribbon, you hear a loud rapping on the door of the tour on the passenger side.
Motherfucker.
Oh, ramp.
All right.
Many things this time.
Actually, I'm just gonna ignore it.
It comes again, louder.
Nope, I'm gonna keep
You
ignoring
hear-
it.
You hear a voice from outside. "Oi! What was all that ruckus about?"
Can I use? All right. I have an idea. It's a dumb idea, but I'm doing it anyway.
Oh no.
Can I use the Taurox to? I can definitely use the Taurox to broadcast my own voice, right?
Yeah, it has Voxhailers on it.
Sweet. Okay, I'm going to switch to binary chatter and tell any device that's possibly listening to go off at once. Anything that can make noise should switch on and be as loud as possible right now.
Go ahead and give me a
You know-
tech roll.
On the one hand, I am of concern. On the other hand, discreet is not in any tech priest language, so
Nope.
This is fair.
Especially not mine. Especially when you
I mean-
like the last thing that I heard from you was make a distraction. So I made one, and take another. Oh come on! All right, I'm wrapping that because this is tech and I should be better at that.
Fair.
I'm just
Go
gonna
for
real
it.
quickly argue.
Mostly I just don't want to talk to
that
people.
Belisarius
So
is pretty
there we go.
distinct.
That was a 7.
He's got to be.
All right. Nualia, Flux, your Vox units explode with a deafening screech of binary in your ears.
Whoops.
The Taurox immediately begins blaring alarms, headlamps flashing, the dashboard alight with warning flashes and beeping. outside, several loud beeps start up, and you hear cries of, "What the fuck is going on?"
That bitch is buying me a new headset.
Nuali is just like, Feth! It just closes the channel.
Yeah. Crumples inside the doorway as I'm going through, holding my head, ripping it off.
Oh. Oof. Sorry. Trying to be creative here.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
we're
Now what are
just
you doing?
we're just also
Now-
ground zero for the noise.
Shit. Well, is the guy outside still outside?
He seems like he is. He's yelling very loudly.
Okay. Hmm.
Did you think
Just
this would
fucking
scare?
talk to him.
Did you
What's
think
that?
this would scare him off?
Talk to him.
Yeah, just be like, oh, sorry, we had a technical
having some
malfunction.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna
Please
go over to the
hold.
door and slam it open as like hard as I possibly can.
All right. You swing the door open, and the light from inside the Taurox shines upon a group of 5 men standing about, looking very confusedly. A couple of them holding their las guns out at arm's length as red lights flash on them, and they beep loudly.
The guns are beeping.
Yep.
Does it sound like the
They're
microwave?
looking at them very worriedly, holding them out at arm's length with a confused and cautious expression.
You rolled tech so well, you got all of the tech to beep.
Wait, does that include my gun? Z.
No. You and
also everything else
Nualia's
is very
technology
loud
is
right
still
now.
fine. You got the feedback from the Vox, but you did not get the binaric command.
Perfect. Give me 2
Gods.
seconds here. Right, just a second. Not loud. Why is it so slow? I can almost promise this will be worth it in like a minute.
I'm afraid of what you're gonna do next.
You already know what I'm gonna do next. I sent it to you guys like half a week ago. I just need this thing to update. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of stand in the like the light behind me in the Vox, like basically standing in the doorway and just kind of stare at them for a second, like waiting for them to say anything.
Yeah. The same voice you heard before. One of the men steps forward. He is not cowering in fear from the noise his rifle is making. He's just holding it casually at ease. What the hell is all this? Did you do this?
Yeah, maybe. What do you want?
What do you mean, yeah, maybe? I want an explanation.
Got a rogue machine spirit here. You know, Omnissiah stuff. Nothing you need to worry about. Although you should probably get your guns checked out. I don't think they're supposed to beep like that.
Give me a deception roll. And I'll
Alright,
give
yeah.
you a +2 for that.
Thank you. It's still not going to go
Since,
very well.
Most people of the Imperium do not really understand technology.
That's what I
Plus
figured.
2 because he really wants this to work because it's funny.
Well, there's that, but it is also legit that they probably have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Ugh. 2.5. Yeah,
Alright.
I'm just gonna let that go. I like cause
You should
not.
because this is somewhat important. I'm
you want me to
gonna
wrap
say no.
At
Are we
least
cool?
glory.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we want to spend a glory or two here?
Oh yeah, if that's okay, if I could
You
borrow
want.
the 2.
I would say spend the 2. It's up to the rest of the group.
It's not a giant deal.
Do we
to
want
me.
to save one for someone else? For you,
I'm okay with
Flex?
that.
Yeah, you can roll them both if you feel like you need it.
I could also just. I don't think it's particularly worth wrathing, but I'll take them both for now if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I have not actually rolled glory before, so it's just roll 2d6.
So
Mhm.
go
In the
over
combat section on the
Oh, thank you.
right, there is a golden button, and beside it is a text
yep.
field.
Yep, number of glory spent, roll glory.
There we go.
Okay, so I guess that's a 4 with a complication then?
Yeah.
He visibly pales, glancing around. What, the Taurox? Is it possessed or something?
Hold on, I have to switch this back on. I mean, if it makes you feel better to think about it that way, you could say that.
Are you using a voice mod? Because it's not coming through.
Yeah, it's not coming through.
Ah. Okay, so that
You have to
completely.
set Discord's input to the voice modifier.
Okay, I'll fix that later once I'm out of scene, because that makes it so much less interesting. All right. Okay. I mean, you could say that. It's like I said, Mechanica stuff, and just sort of vaguely gesture at them. Like, if there's something wrong with the Taurox, it might be getting into your weapons, since they seem to have some kind of machine in them. If you want to leave them with me, I'll take a look at them, get them back to you in like an hour tops. I gotta go deal with a really angry machine spirit though, so unless this is important. And then she kind of just like waits, like exasperated, like what are you doing?
No, that's all right. You get back to that. And he turns from you and yells at us. All right, go fetch Matthias and Franklin. Bring the las cannon. Grab whatever fucking ordnance you can. This thing's going wild. It's got a fucking heavy flamer and auto cannons. I want you guys on that shit. And they nod and dash off.
Well, that's
We've
complication.
certainly provided a distraction.
Yeah. That's not going to be good.
It'll be great.
As
Get all the
well,
guys in the spot.
as well, the ecclesiarchal militia should not have that weaponry.
Actually, las cannons are fairly ubiquitous. Most militaries have them because they require no ammo.
Fair.
So do we care about these guys? Are these safe to say these are all militia? So I can just get them all in one place and deal with them?
We don't know
This
that they're
hasn't
traitors
escalated to a
yet.
fight yet, so this is a
Yeah.
diffuse situation thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have not actually confirmed whether or not they've betrayed the Imperium. We've got a
Okay.
lot of hints, but nothing concrete.
Okay.
And we're not.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll just try and get creative then.
Like, high key, the only reason Flux is even slightly okay with the murderous intent right now is because Nuali is taking the hit for however this goes.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Not be dropping people, to be honest, because we don't have enough confirmation. I can very much get in trouble for this. My only out is she told me to do it.
All right. Well, I'll get creative if I need to.
All right, the militiamen dash off into the dark, and others around the square raise their weapons and keep an eye on the vehicle. And we will flick back to Nualia and Angrotrom.
Crumble hungers. Anyway. Itchy hands, my man.
I trust you are all right, sister. Something wrong?
I think I know where that racket was coming from, and she like kind of beats on the side of her head for a second. I think our Taurox is having some technical difficulties.
That is most unfortunate. I'm afraid there aren't any engine seals around here.
Oh, that's quite all right. We have one of our own. She'll be looking into it.
That is fortuitous, then.
Indeed. Let's see. How many people are in this room?
There is you, Angrotrom, Lanewald, 2 civilian militia, and Emmanuel.
Okay. So 2 militia and the vicar. Okay. Does the vicar look armed at all?
It doesn't look like it.
Can I make an awareness check while I'm like pretending to
Sure.
or actually I'm not even pretending to like try to clear my ear, so
I definitely
Yeah,
would
go for it.
be. I'd like to make this roll too, because
Yeah, both of you go ahead.
Fucking, he's like, whose arms? Who's the best armed? So I can take them out first.
yeah, 3 and 3.
So, Nualia, you can't see any telltale bulges or signs of hidden weaponry. He seems unarmed. You do notice, though, his left hand has been in a pocket for the last 10 minutes. The last, like, few minutes you've been sitting in here. Angeltrum, the 2 militia are openly carrying their las guns. They're not raised or aimed at you, but they are ready to bring them up at a moment's notice.
Noted. Yeah.
See. What kind of clothing does the vicar have?
He is wearing a pale blue robe, tied at the waist with a gold sash. He wears a white stole, the shawl type thing they wear around their shoulders.
Yeah.
That's edged in gold thread. He has a couple of pouches at his hips.
Okay. So it's a fairly standard like priest garb.
Yep.
Okay. How long are the sleeves?
They reach his wrists.
Okay. Vicar, we had, you will forgive me for a little bit of subterfuge. We had received word of something else that might have been happening. But, I would ask if you will do me this one favor. If you will please show me your arms.
My arms? For what purpose?
Identification.
Give me a persuasion roll.
I would like her to have her hand on the pommel of her new power sword and have that be an intimidation instead.
Alright, I'll give you that.
4 successes.
He gives you a long look and shrugs and steps forward. If you must, and begins rolling up his sleeves. As he does so, you can see that the backs of his arms, from the wrist to the shoulder, are crisscrossed with deep scars.
Oh, is he another one of the fucker up at the base? the dude of the holy suffering.
You don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
Go ahead and give me an awareness roll, Nualia.
And remind me, what was the name of the order that the priest back at base had been a part of?
The Order of the Emperor's Sufferance.
Okay. And while I'm making that awareness check, well, let's see. I should have Irath once, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna wrath that since the wrath die is a success. Okay, that's good. And while I'm making that awareness check, Noelia is just going to say, I do beg your pardon. This was necessary. as well. Would you happen to be another member of the Order of the Emperor's Sufferance?
He gives you a kind of nervous chuckle. I see. You have met some of the revered brethren. No, these are old scars. As you examine his arms, you see no sign of the mark that Fielson showed you. But as you step back and he covers his arms again, you notice him giving you a sidelong glance, and he rubs the back of his neck under the collar of his robes.
Vicar?
Yes?
Your chest as well, please.
He sighs heavily. Well, that is unfortunate. And from his pocket he pulls what you recognize as a remote detonator.
Is there any way I can I make a combat initiative to cut off his fucking hand with my sword?
I mean, that's what I was about to say.
I would say with that awareness check, it's a dead man's trigger.
Ah, damn. Damn.
Yeah, don't kill him.
I'd hoped
chop the
it
hand
wouldn't come to this. Please, have a seat, all three of you. And he snaps his fingers, and the door bursts open, and another 5 militiamen enter, weapons raised, and the two in the room aim their guns at you all. Before you do anything hasty, this trigger, if I do not apply pressure, will detonate a string of explosives across the face of the plateau, destroying the road. And that would be an awful loss to your cause, I am sure.
You said destroying the road, the one leading to Saint's Watch?
The one that climbs its face.
From here to the plateau.
Indeed. Though, perhaps that is not incentive enough. Your Taurox also has a gift from my men.
I see.
God damn it.
Hey, I mean, the comms are open.
He sits back in his chair, and we will leave Nualia and Angrotrom there as they ponder their new fate, and return to Flux.
I already know my answer. Get out of here.
After the noise, I assume it stops at some point, or does it just
stopped
keep going?
briefly,
through
and it does stop after a few seconds as Riven does whatever they are doing.
Is the comm still open then from Nualia's thing, or is it just fried
Nope,
now?
Nualia cut her vox.
Great. So I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck is happening.
Well, she cut the receiving. She did not stop broadcasting.
Fair enough.
A yes, I heard, or no, I didn't. Then.
Yes, you would have heard then.
Lit.
Did
Although
we as
you
well?
had pulled your vox off your head.
It's true. Yeah, I'm gonna just take a moment and put it back on if it's working properly now and tap it. The fuck did you do, Ribbon?
Look, I was, you asked for distraction. I give you a distraction. I've got some issues down here too.
Yeah, I'm about to get into the office and try and see if we can get some confirmation of what's going on. Bit of evidence before we do anything would be nice.
Sure. Do you need me to do anything else?
Out of character, I'm gonna remind you that you just heard that shit's attached to your thing, and I have no idea.
No, that's true. You heard Noalia's side of the conversation.
Oh, I was just asking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So hey, Flux. Actually, can we get you back to the Torox? There's something attached to it somewhere, and I haven't had the time yet because I have a couple of visitors.
Can you give me... What? The fuck have you done in the 5 minutes I've had my comm off?
Well, turns out a number of these fine gentlemen who are surrounding the Torox also have guns that are smart enough to start beefing. So I told them that, well, it's Mechanicus stuff. They're not terribly understanding of that. So now they've decided that the Torox is possessed. And as much as I'm trying to convince them that that's not the case, you know how military are.
As you are saying this, Riven, Packard leans down from the turret. They've got the las cannon set up.
So, out of character, I'm still surrounded by militiamen, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I'm trying to be as coded as possible when I'm talking about
Aren't you back in the
The
Torox?
Torox is an armored vehicle. It is very difficult to hear through the armor plate.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Yeah.
all right. So if it's safe to say, all right, I slammed the door and
You can say
went back
whatever
to
the fuck you
Torox.
want to say.
It's
Don't
a
worry.
hermetically sealed vehicle, much like
Perfect.
a Chimera or a Lehman Russ tank.
Oh, okay. All right. So you wanted confirmation. This town is essentially owned by these militiamen. They are heretics, and there's dead man's trigger on the Torox and on the road that would get us to where we need to be. So, yeah.
Fuck. Where on the
But hey,
road?
you've got confirmation.
Where on the road?
He said, like across the road from here to sorry, what's the name of the town? Saints Rest?
Saints Watch is the
Saints Watch.
fortress on the plateau.
Yes, so across the plateau. So would
Flux is gonna take a minute and lean against the wall and just kind of be quiet. So you're not gonna like me for this.
what does that mean?
I think you're gonna have to handle the Torox.
Okay.
Everyone give me a willpower roll.
No problem.
Eh,
Yeah, 3.
I'm gonna wrath that.
under attributes.
Oh, careful. Yeah, let's be
I
careful
clicked
since.
Someone else's.
Oh, you clicked someone else's. My bad.
Yeah, I clicked someone else's.
My bad.
Hey,
Glory.
we got glory. That's nice.
Very nice.
Got a 3.
We didn't do terribly, all things considered.
All right. Flux, you feel a sudden surge of anger. Undirected, primal, aggressive. The rest of you feel an itch at the back of your minds, a tiny voice urging you to lash out, but you are able to push it back and suppress the urge. Many of the militiamen out in the street clutch their heads, a couple yell out, and several fights break out. In the room with Nualia, Angrotrom, and Lanewold, 2 of the militiamen drop their guns, grabbing their heads. One drops to his knees and yells. The other starts muttering under his breath and then turns, throwing a punch at the man next to him. He easily dodges and clubs the man down with the butt of his rifle. But Emmanuel grins all the broader.
Noelia looks to the side and says, "What are you messing with here, Vicar?
You're also going to have heard Flux yell over the comm and a bang as they punch the wall
Mm-hmm.
in frustration.
I hate to be rude, but Agraltrom, he's kind of gonna seize the initiative here. He knew what he was gonna do. Step one. What would you say it is to roll to actually slice that man's hand off?
Yeah, everything's gonna blow up.
Maybe a weapon skill
You're that
roll.
right.
Yeah. I'm just taking the hand up. I'm not gonna kill him.
So
No,
if
that's
you cut
not-
his hand
that's-
off, he will release the trigger and the
Oh, it's
explosive
held
will
down.
go off.
Yeah.
That's not how I thought that worked.
Yeah.
I thought
No.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's wired into him.
A traditional dead man's trigger is any kind of explosive trigger that requires conscious effort to maintain.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
not what I thought it meant.
Even if it
Yeah.
was like the other
It's
kind, it would
technically
be
an unconscious man's trigger as well, but whatever.
even if it was like the other kind where it's like wired into his heartbeat. If the moment you cut off his hand, that means that it doesn't detect his heartbeat and it thinks he's dead and everything goes boom.
Okay.
The only thing that you could do here combat-wise is if you grappled him and were able to force his hand to hold it down.
Yeah.
Could I break the device?
No,
That would
that's not how that
probably
works.
set it off
Second
as
no
well.
signal happens.
Ah.
The
Yeah.
second no signal goes through, because essentially, what you do when you push down a button is you create a circuit, right?
Mm.
And the actual signal is that beep and that break in the electricity when you press it down and create the circuit. Pull it up. Don't create the circuit.
Yeah. As long as he's holding it down, it's transmitting continuously, and that continuous signal prevents the explosion.
So yeah, if you can grapple him and basically like be holding his finger on the button and then cut his hand off, that could work.
Then you don't even need to cut his hand off. You just basically take his place.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess I'm more concerned with getting my hands on that thing instead.
It would.
but
yeah,
I don't know what the
It would be.
That would-
It's
It would be incredibly
That would be an
difficult.
opposed strength roll.
yeah, and it is incredibly difficult to replace someone else's finger on a detonator quick enough that it doesn't interrupt the signal.
However, you can just grab his hand and hold it closed until you can get a hold of it.
Yeah,
yeah
You could cut his hand off and keep it.
yeah,
yeah
pretty
that,
much.
that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the
like I
plan.
said-
Hold his hand
You-
closed
you-
and chop it off. That will work.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan then. I just didn't know how that worked initially, so yeah, no, that's what he's going for. No.
All right, that will first be a grapple roll, and then next turn you can cut his hand off.
Opposed strength, right?
Yep.
I'm
Hey
terrified.
guys, can I use a glory on this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
please.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
please do. Use
I mean, you
all the
earned it.
glory.
I also earned another one. It
Yeah.
replaced.
Feel free to spend that one too, if you can.
I'm gonna wrath my dice.
So
Nice.
good.
Well, then.
I don't think you need to spend that glory right now.
Yeah.
So we've just got 2 glory.
Yeah. So, Angratrum, what does this look like as you tackle this man and grab hold of him across his desk?
This effectively is whatever chair Agraltron was sitting on. He is now standing on, and basically with one arm held onto Grimball, his axe. He uses that to like push himself forward, trying to get a lot of momentum to just fling himself at the guy, and he just grabs a hand as he like flies over and kind of like basically pulls him down to the ground with him. He's basically trying to get the hand under himself in like a launch.
All right. You dive across the desk, body surfing across the surface, scattering papers and pens and other objects. You slam bodily into him, grabbing his hand with your free hand and bearing him to the ground with your momentum. He disappears backwards over the chair with a yell of surprise as Angratrum slams into him. Nualia, I'm gonna need you to give me a combat initiative roll.
Okay.
Agrotrum will say, "Never underestimate the agility of a squat."
Do I do not have any wrath.
Oh dear.
Lane mode is just as slow. All right. The 3 troopers that are still armed in no, there's 4 of them. The 4 troopers that are still armed in the room raise their weapons and fire on Lanewold and Nualia.
Okay. So they're multi-attacking, right?
No, they are splitting into pairs.
Ah, fair.
So Nualia, that is 6 successes to hit.
Yeah, my defense is a 3.
Only 9 damage, unfortunately.
Nope. Does not phase me.
All right, Lanewold's turn. Oh, that's all 9-9ers. Why am I rolling them? Damn.
You're
Yeah, I was
also
about to
rolling
say.
public.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I was rolling on the wrong sheet.
Ah,
That was my bad.
so the results will probably be different.
We'll see. Nah, same result for you.
For the 2 hit.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the hit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, still doesn't phase me.
Lanewold. Oof, that is a good hit. Yeah, Lanewold is caught by surprise and hammered with las bolts at close range. She's thrown back over a chair with a yell of pain. But she rolls well on her soak.
Hell yeah, she does.
Yeah, she is thrown back, slamming into the wall, and drops to the ground. But you can see her already picking herself up off her feet, onto her feet. Several ragged, bloody burn wounds across her chest and arms. Nualia.
Okay. Nualia takes out her heavy stubber, and she looks at the mass of soldiers and says, "Gentlemen, I have one question for you. Would you like a cupcake?" And yeah, she's broadcasting
Oh,
that.
yes.
And then she just opens fire.
Oh, real quick, say Agrotrum says, "Yes."
So, yeah, 8 to hit with the heavy
Yeah.
stubber.
Yeah, you can hit all of them and shift A6.
Yep, I'll shift that 6 to glory. So we should have 3 glory right now. Because Agril did not spend the 1 from before.
Did he not?
No.
No, I did.
You did? No.
Yeah, I thought
So
he
the one
included
I
it.
got, the one that I pre-included it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
so-
don't roll them separately.
Okay. My bad. Let's see. 12 damage.
Yeah, you unleash a torrent of gunfire from your heavy stubber, mowing these men down. The bullets chew through the wall around you, shattering one of the windows.
And then Nualia is going to look to Lanewald and say, "Help Agril, immediately!"
She will try, but first it is Emmanuel's turn,
Yeah.
and he's going to try and throw Agrotrom off. Go ahead and give me another strength roll, Agrotrom.
Hey guys.
Use it. Roll
How many
first.
do you want me to use?
You roll your strength first, and then you
All
can
right.
see whether or not you need to.
Uh,
Another point of glory.
Well, you earned another.
Feel free to use 2 more.
all right. 3 successes,
Feel free to use another.
if you so desire.
Do it. Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Let us
Mr.
not
Crab.
let us not take chances with the explosive attached to part of our party's truck.
So I'm just curious, if the Torox is heavily armored, uh, what kind of explosives could possibly blow it up?
Quite a few,
Well,
actually.
The same
Yeah.
that could
Oh.
the same that could
Generally
blow up a
speaking, armored
salamander.
vehicles are not designed to take an explosive attached to them.
Oh, okay.
Usually it's mines that are a foot or so below the ground and then can be redirected with shaped armor plates, or it's rocket-propelled devices that will hit the side or top or front or back rather than underneath.
Yeah,
All
this.
So if they
that's
lodge it in like your wheel arch, you're kind of fucked.
Shit. Well, there goes that plan.
But yeah, Agrotrom, you succeed as he struggles and tries to shove you away. But you're heavier than you look and are able to pin him down, holding his hand closed.
He just yells something like, "Don't you know what we're called in the species book? Rotundas! We're heavy, you fool! Give up! Give up!"
Over the comm, Flux is just gonna get a hold of Noelia. Headed to deactivate on the road.
Are you able to think at the moment?
I'm pretty sure I can think. I just got fucking angry.
You are very, very angry. Your most prominent instinct is to hurt someone or something.
Yeah, that's fair. I can beat the shit out of people on my way. I mean, I couldn't have calmed anyone.
You could certainly calm them, but you would still, be pretty fucking angry.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Say that again, but through clenched teeth.
This time with feeling.
But yeah, Nualia will fox back. Do it. And then she'll say one more time. Help Agril. Take the vicar alive. Just cut off his hand.
I was just about to ask.
Feel free to keep it as a trophy.
I'll put it in now. I forgot what the liquid is called. Formaldehyde, yes. He's like getting the ready, axe ready. He's holding this guy down.
Yeah. He is actively pleading with you as you raise the axe. No, don't, no, not my hand.
You instigated this fool.
Go ahead and give me a weapon skill roll, Agrotrom.
Any bonus because I got him held down?
No, you'll actually be at a penalty because you're holding him down.
Shit. All right.
Do you have any wrath left?
No.
Okay.
I do have 7 dice though, so
That's pretty
should
good.
be okay.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
If I take a couple of my fingers with me, then all right.
Well, you do hit. Your axe thunks down through bone and muscle, and a massive spurt of arterial blood erupts from the stump as Emmanuel grabs his bleeding arm and screams in pain. A massive spray of blood splashes across your face, Agrotrom, as he flails about. You've seen wounds like this before. He's got maybe 10 seconds before he bleeds out.
In good news, he's no hand. Bad news, he's not alive. Anyone have a poker? Fire?
I have no medical kit left.
You
I
have
might-
8 seconds!
I might be able to do something. I would love to try a Medicaid check to see if I can at least, staunch the bleeding.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a Medicaid roll.
Okay.
4 seconds!
7 successes.
Nawalia, you think quickly. He is clearly bleeding out. The only thing you can think of is your power sword has an energy field.
Cauterize it. Yep, I do it.
Alright. Describe your actions as you run over to this scene. Vicar Emmanuel rolling on the floor, blood spraying everywhere, staining his robes and splashing on the floor.
Yeah.
Angrotrom laying beside him, clutching his severed hand.
She drops the heavy stubber and draws her power sword with one hand, runs over, and not quite stomps on his chest, but definitely kicks him so that he's flat, lays her foot on his chest, and then turns on the power field, stabs the sword down into the stump of his arm.
Yeah. With a hiss and a disconcerting smell of cooked meat, the blade sinks into the stump. He screams all the louder, but the blood flow does seem staunched. Vicar Emmanuel, pale, gasping, his eyes roll back in his sockets, and he slumps over. You can see the ever so faint rise and fall of his chest as he lays unconscious.
He's alive, but out cold. Good work, Agril.
I do my best!
Excellent thinking.
Alright, and we will switch to Flux.
I am doing a very angry run towards where the explosives are set up on the road. I'm not sure how far I get by the time stuff is going on, but I assume I get decently.
An athletics roll.
And I'm still I'm being more careless, but not horribly careless about being seen.
Alright, you'll gain a glory. Flux, you struggle to remain focused through this cloud of rage, and you stumble down the street. You can see militiamen running towards the town center, but before you've made it 10 meters down the road towards the square, a doorway to a house on your right bursts open, and a figure drenched in blood, clutching a kitchen knife, staggers out, eyes wild and staring. He bumps into one of the militiamen and bears him to the ground, stabbing him repeatedly. Other doors burst open, more civilians running out, clutching makeshift weapons. They leap upon the militia and beat them down. You see one turn to you, and you see an almost bestial snarl on their face.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
And you feel an almost sympathetic swell of anger and a desire to kill this person rise within you.
Yeah. I'm just going to immediately start shooting with the last gun.
Alright, go ahead and roll me an attack. Yeah, it's just a civilian. They're not wearing any armor. You gun them down with ease, a cracking array of las bolts peppering their chest and blowing chunks out, exposing ribs and shattered bone. They drop to the ground in a heap. Give me a willpower roll, Flux.
Nice.
And another glory. You feel the bloodlust rise within you. You are just able to strangle it and push it down, forcing yourself to focus on the mission.
I'm just gonna pause a moment, breathing heavily, and tap the comm. I don't know what just happened. I just killed a civilian.
Wait, what?
There is a psycho loose. We all felt that.
Yeah.
Find the
Huh.
psycho, kill the psycho. It's not the vicar. The vicar is unconscious. We'll search this building, but I have no idea where to look.
I think I
Just-
might.
You said there was a dead man's trigger.
Agrotrom has that. We cut
Need
off
some
his
help?
hand. Yes, please get here immediately.
Flux is just gonna give a kind of not all there nod to themselves.
In the
Yeah, I'm on my way.
In the meantime, Riven, connect me to the Torox's Vox unit immediately. The
Copy.
Voxcasters.
I'll patch her through.
Riven, on your end,
Yeah.
the troopers surrounding you, many of them have succumbed to this rage, and fights have broken out. You can hear las bolts and see the flash of red of gunfire. And from the doors around the square, a drove of civilians pours, many wearing servants' attire, bloodied and ragged. You don't see many nobles among their number.
I mean, okay, that's
Interesting.
not all bad.
Yeah.
They leap upon the militia that are trying to fight each other. It's hard to tell who's fighting who at this point.
Okay. I don't know how psychers work. All right.
Okay, most people don't.
Yeah, fair. I have a hunch that they're in that building, but I assume I can't really get out. And if the Torox has an explosive underneath it, I probably can't move the Torox.
I mean,
You can theoretically move it just fine. You
crit,
still have
it
the
might
comet
set it
onto you.
off.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
crash into something, that might be a risk.
Okay. All right. Okay. We also have no idea where this. Okay, so I'm imagining that the Torox is absolutely surrounded by people. Is it not, how many? Like, is it not that many people?
Here, I'll draw another crude map.
Thank you.
Putting Hugh's artistic skills to the test today.
Hey, Mason.
Yes.
Boop.
Alright, nice big square. Statue in the middle. Town hall up there. Road fluxes down.
Oh, this is a lot smaller than I thought it was. All right, that's helpful.
And we'll say that is the Torox, and you are around here,
Okay.
along with the other Torox.
Wait, where am I in relation to them, and where's Noalia?
Nualia is in the red building, and
Right.
you are down the left road.
You said there
Lit.
was a. You said there was like another building where people were going inside and not coming out.
Yep.
Okay.
That would be. I'll mark it in blue.
Sounds good.
Building here.
Oh, this one over here then.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
And there are crowds of people dotted about.
If you move fast, you won't get your face eaten off.
Yeah.
If you don't, you become part of a Florida man story. I
Or
don't
if-
see the downside here.
Or if you connect me to the Vox.
I mean, I'm already gonna do that. That's fine. You've got
Okay.
like.
Yeah, it's not hard to hook Nualia up through. It's just run a cable from Feely's Vox unit into the Taurox.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'll power up the Taurox, connect Nualia through, and I'm gonna start driving towards probably this building over here. See if I can get around people.
She's probably not going to know she's connected unless you tell her, though.
Oh yeah, sorry, Lieutenant. You're patched in.
Thank you.
I will say each of these red dots consists of like a group of 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, I figured.
Crush them under the wheels.
I'm gonna drive real slow to try and not crush people under the wheels.
And
That's
to
the
not,
point of a
and,
this,
and,
though.
and to not set off bomb.
Yeah, it's more like I don't want to murder civilians if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
Clearly,
not
it is a town of bitches.
not everybody got hit by the horrible rage ritual. So, all right, yeah, I'm gonna start moving my way over to this building.
You know, so the purple icon is the last cannon nest.
Okay. But there are people fighting each other at the last cannon
Yes.
nest, right? Okay.
The last cannon gunners seem to have resisted, and they are backed up by a couple of their fellows, but there are civilians trying to attack them.
Okay.
Riven, give me a piloting roll. And
Sure.
are you, like, gonna run people over if they don't move, or will you stop?
I will. I'm going to stop because, I mean, yeah.
I mean-
I'm already in a kind of a
Alright,
shitty
give
position.
me a
So.
pilot roll.
Yeah. All right, roll to 3.
Yeah, you try to bring the Taurox around as carefully as you can. You manage to get to about here before someone darts in front of the Taurox, running out of a door to your right, and you thud into them. They stagger a few steps away and then turn to face the Taurox and shout a bestial cry. Several others around them turn to face the Taurox and they all run at it, slamming themselves against the armor plating, clawing at the door and the windscreen.
We just entered a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, rage zombies
Kinda,
too.
yeah. Yeah, we're 28 days later zombies. This is the worst scenario.
Yep.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. You know what you have?
An explosive attached to the thing that I'm driving.
Also a flamethrower.
Yeah. But also,
Listen, they've had their minds overtaken by chaos.
so
Who's to say if they'll get them back?
do I have enough time to attempt a combat action, or is that already done? Because I want to know. Actually, better question: does the autocannon shoot anything explosive?
It shoots 20mm shells that do explode.
Cool. So feasibly, I could try and blow up this building.
You could shoot down the wall.
Oh, that's even better. Okay, I assume I have to wait another turn for that, though.
No, you only had a move with your pilot.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to shoot. I'm going to try and shoot this to break down the wall.
Just-
Alright.
Just watch out for poor little Jimmy wrapped around the barrel of the gun.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a ballistic skill roll, Riven.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Don't let gave Ray out any more than she already is.
I'm sorry, who was the one actively attempting to get her to shoot civilians with a heavy flamer?
Okay, so I got us another
I'm
glory.
not really being serious, though.
Neither was I.
All right, Riven, you unleash a hail of autocannon shells, narrowly avoiding hitting a couple of civilians. One of the ones clawing at the door, however, since they are standing directly in line with the cannon mounted just behind the passenger door, is
Mhm.
obliterated in a shower of blood that splatters across the passenger side window.
All right. Well, I knew that was going to happen at some point.
The shells, however, punch through the stone wall, shattering bricks and blowing a sizable hole in it, revealing the shattered remains of what appears to be a living room behind it.
Hope I wasn't
Yikes.
wrong on this. All right.
This is war, baby. Welcome to Nam.
Yeah.
That's
All
not.
Nualia, you are connected.
Actually, do you mind if we take our break?
That is a good point. Yeah, we will have our break and be back in 30 minutes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Cool. Sounds good.
Woo.
I am gonna go get the foods.
No problem.
So I'm noticing a distinct correlation in the kinds of movies we're watching and the kinds of plot lines we're getting.
I came up with this one ages ago.
I'm just saying it's a little interesting.
Well, of course I get inspiration from somewhere.
I mean, that's fair. It's just amusing though, like and it's in the Friday game too, when you were doing stuff like actually writing for the Friday game. I'm entertained.
I'm just.
Well, I've said it before. I'm not actually a very creative person. I just recycle shit that I've seen.
Also fair, but now I'm gonna be wondering how much I can sway how our sessions are depending on what movies I have you watch with me.
I wouldn't bet on it. I pick and choose ideas I like and combine them in new things. So
That's fair, but I figure if I introduce you to stuff that you like, I have a decent chance.
maybe.
I will just say that idea of taking these things and making new shit out of them. I think that's pretty creative.
Or do that with him
I mean,
too.
at
He
this
doesn't
point in the
do it
world,
with me.
at this point in history, it is the only way to create anything. Everything has already been done. Shakespeare is just words put in order, etc.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that compared to a lot of the people I've seen, they can't even do that. I think a lot of people actually get obsessed with not trying to do that and it just fucks them over.
Honestly,
I agree. I think people
this
get too worried
is-
about originality. What was that, Alex?
I think your issue with this is just you Dunning-Krugering yourself.
Maybe. Then again, I always drastically underestimate how well my campaigns will be received.
Dunning-Kruger.
Probably.
Except in the case of Fridays.
Though, in fairness, though, I watch a lot of Critical Role, and Matt Mercer is a fucking epic DM because he pours like fucking hundreds of hours into planning shit and
He's
writing.
also legitimately a professional.
Well, he's a professional voice actor. I mean, he became a professional DM by happenstance more than anything else, but he became a professional DM because he puts in a fuckload of effort like it's practically his job,
Yeah.
which I'm not going to do. Not even for you guys.
I'm hurt.
I understand.
I made it. I've worked very hard to get this lifestyle, and I made it specifically with the intent of not fucking working.
Mm-hmm.
When it becomes a job, then the fun is gone. At least in
Slow.
my opinion.
Glances
Matt
around.
Mercer clearly disagrees, but whatever.
Glances around at my life.
Sorry, what I miss?
Mm,
He was
just
being mean to
discussion.
himself.
Ah,
not really.
I mean, with the creativity thing.
Just in wording. I think you seem like you know what you're capable of, which is good.
I know what I'm good at.
I'm-
Investigations are not it, I have found.
Oh my god.
What?
I love you, but no.
I have done 2 attempts at investigations with completely different groups, and it has gone so fucking badly.
Wait, investigations?
Like,
Yeah, like murder
Crimes.
mysteries, theft,
Oh,
that kind of deal. It's
Ah.
just gone so fucking poorly. I've
I
given
see.
up on that avenue.
Which I find weird because you give a lot of good feedback on my sessions, and that's the main like thing I can fall back on. Is my like slight mystery bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. You spin it in a better way than I do. I mean, I've noticed a lot of areas where I have clearly gone wrong, and I know of methods to fix it, but they have been such catastrophic failures, I'm a bit reticent to give it another
I think
shot.
you just overthink things.
That's very possible. Do you guys mind if I
Probably.
test something real
Like-
quick in the audio?
Go for it.
Your
How does it
biggest thing
sound?
with your murder better.
Like a toaster.
So much better.
Perfect. That was what I was going for earlier.
No, like high key, the mentality you gotta get into to do the murder mystery thing very well is in the back of your head. You kind of gotta get the vibe of the 3-stroke like mystery aspect, where like you want to have several broad sweeps of things, and then just think of it like you're shooting a movie. Like you go, okay, here's gonna be this other scene that culminates and then crashes into the next one.
Well, see, that's what I had been trying to do. The issue is that I had been giving the players a lot more liberty than they needed or actually wanted.
Yeah, you
In
gotta push
how
a
they
lot
handle
more.
the investigation. It's finding that balance of how to construct evidence and clues that I need to work on. And actually, the Dark Tides campaign is teaching me a fair bit of that.
Yeah, it's a lot
Oh.
of both putting things in place, but also giving nudges. And while I am not amazing at NPC nudging, and that's what I'm working on with your current Trek campaign that I'm running with your little buddy, I like to think I'm pretty good at environmental elements in that regard. And it's genuinely just like you control what they see through the camera. Give them a nudge. Just put something there that they didn't notice before. It feels a little bit like pandering, but for the player it doesn't.
Yeah. We'll see.
Like that's the biggest thing is balancing like, oh, this is ridiculously fucking obvious. And then realizing that like, no, if you think it's ridiculously fucking obvious, multiply it by 2 in obviousness, and then it's gonna be like just right for your players to feel like they got something important done.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
What I would
Like-
like to see is a 40k Ocean's 11 campaign. Just a bunch of Imperial scum heisting casinos and banks and shit. That would be pretty entertaining.
I am so up for this.
I would not be capable of writing that. It would be too many heisty, investigative kind of dealies all in a row that I would not really thrive at.
So
One thing
what
I do
I'm
want to
hearing
mention. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I need to run a thing on Friday and give you time to write the new campaign after we finish the module and do a 40k heist.
I mean, if you want to, I'd be absolutely fine with that.
You've seen how I am with the Trek. Do you think the same storytelling style would apply decently?
Yeah, I think so. Trek is a very vague, structured system. I think the same kind of style would translate fairly well to Wrath and Glory.
Okay. I
So
mean,
you
also
might
in
have
terms
to,
of how I do storytelling styles as well.
So remember that Warhammer 40k is a dangerous and violent place. Throwing in splashes of combat to liven things up is very easy and a good way to change the pace.
Yeah, Warhammer is a much more combat-y thing. I'm trying to give you a little bit more stealth and finesse with the Trek.
Well, if everyone makes characters with the intent of heisting, then I'm sure there'll be a fair bit of attention paid towards being sneaky.
Honestly, I primarily just want to steal some character sheets for you for NPCs and ask you to help me a little bit with leveling for your characters in terms of combat, because that's not something I've done a whole lot of. At
Yeah,
least
that's
not with
fair.
this.
It's very easy to make enemies for Wrath and Glory.
That's valid, but I also don't ever make enemies. I
I know.
just bullshit stuff.
I'm saying it's fine. I'll help you.
Actually, do you think people would be upset if I used my kind of vague rolling system of approximation with the Wrath and Glory system?
I think Wrath and Glory, the roles themselves have a bit more impact, especially with how
That's
combat is structured. But when it comes to what the difficulties are, you can be pretty loose with that, and the players tend not to notice.
Yeah, I figure stuff like armor and how much damage to kill, because those are the two biggest things that I bullshit. So in
As
terms
long
of
as
like
you,
attacks, I would have dice for attacks on players, but not necessarily for like not have set numbers for most other stuff.
I mean, having set numbers gives you contingencies for things you don't expect that the players can do.
So
For
Hugh, one
example,
thing,
if you haven't statted a character out to have like a raw strength stat and your players go to grapple them, then you can't roll strength. If you don't have their resolve statted, then they can't resist fear attempts, etc.
That's fair, and with dice pools like this, it's going to be a lot harder to BS it on the spot. Versus, I literally roll d20s, even using the Trek system, and just approximate it like it's a 5e thing for Trek.
Yeah, because Trek works on that effective system.
Oh, I don't even do the 2d20 thing and like have to go over. I just literally roll 1d20 as if I was running a 5e game, and I'm like, this would probably about that if I translate it to Trek.
Fair.
so one thing I wanted to mention that you do very well, Hugh, is the way consequences play out in Wrath and Glory. Like I said, this is the first time I've this is the first time I've done a campaign or even a system like this, and I like that you don't. It doesn't feel like we're just like rolling against numbers and if we hit too low we don't do the thing. I like the way that you do
More
you play out
dynamic.
consequences. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I like it a lot. It's something I've been trying to get the DM in my other game, which is a 5e game, to do more of because I think it's a really cool way to approach success and failure.
Yeah, fail forward methods are honestly the best thing on the planet. Trying to find creative ways to fail players forward.
It's
Oh
a
my God.
mentality thing. You're not a storyteller as a DM. You're a
Mhm.
guide through a setting.
That makes
See,
sense.
I disagree with you in that regard. I very much look at Trek as me being a storyteller.
You are certainly
Maybe
telling stories, but this isn't about you telling the perfect story that the players are characters in. This is about you weaving a story that the players then interact with in their own way that creates a collaborative story. And you have to
makes sense.
guide them through that experience rather than trying to direct them down a plot.
I kind of get that, but also still, I don't know. I think it's just the differences in DMing styles we have as well. Because you know how loose I am with rules and stuff. They are barely a thing in my Trek game. Because you all are reasonable enough with your role playing that I feel like, for the most part, we just kind of cooperatively go,
I mean,
yeah,
as
or
an example,
nah.
this situation you're in right now could have played out a hell of a lot differently depending on what you did.
True.
So, for example,
Like, I
how
could tell the plot of a bomb threat as you try and negotiate him down and make the threat overwhelming so that you have to talk him down. But I didn't. I arranged a scenario that they were planning to do and then reacted to your plan, which
Yeah,
led
no,
to
that's
this.
fair. I definitely think of it as a dynamic storytelling, but I don't agree that you make an environment and that's all you're doing. I think you're still very much guiding the story, but more in
Oh,
a
yeah.
facilitative role.
Like I said,
But
you
it's
are
still
a
storytelling.
guide through the world. A guide takes you to important things, but lets you look around and experience it.
I guess that's fair.
Like, I find when creating a setting or creating a network of events that leads to a story more specifically, you end up with the best results when you try to construct self-contained narratives that are linked to locations and then let your players explore them at their own pace. And they can be interlinked in any way you feel like, but trying to construct them in a way that the players can interact with without having had to have gone to somewhere else is an important aspect. Because if you expect your players to go in a specific order to specific places, they're not going to fucking do it.
Oh yeah, that's why it's a modular style all day, every day. Or, in my case, BS'd because you forgot to make something.
Well, yeah, but then logically, you are setting out landmarks and guiding your players' attention to them, and then everything else is a knock-on effect.
That's fair. That's pretty fair. Yeah. Like the thing that I really like that I changed up between the Trek game and my first time with 5e was like I was really worried about y'all having to get to bigger landmark areas as well. And even that just felt too forced to me.
Yeah,
And
I've
even
had
then
a
I was
similar
still
issue.
only doing broad strokes, like in a modular style like that. So it was like weird. And now with Trek, like I have an idea of what kind of story I want to tell for this section, and I have an idea of what kind of skills you're going to need to get through it. And I have a couple of ideas of, oh, this might be cool, or oh, that would be interesting. And then depending on what you do, I decide which version of that I'm going to lean into and just off the cuff everything.
Fair. Keeping the pacing of a game is probably the hardest bit to manage.
Yeah, I've found that not having set positions actually helps me quite a bit with that. I tend to have scenes that I'm like, ooh, this could be cool if I had like,
Well, yeah,
for
I
instance, the fight that you guys just went through
find
with
a mix of both is important. You have set landmarks that have their own personal tailored events and stories. That gives them more life. But then you also have roaming events that you can just tack on whenever it feels appropriate.
That's true. I think the nice thing with Trek is because it's so episodic, I basically just have a roaming story for a bunch of different landmarks rather than needing to necessarily connect them like a Wrath and Glory game would need.
You could certainly do that, but I find that putting threads of connection between them helps the players interact more and feel more immersed in the world because it feels like everything's actually part of something bigger rather than being isolated islands of event.
That's true, but the lines I'm trying to tie in, at least for Trek, is not something you necessarily need to interact with, like the probe.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, it's not, like, I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, if,
Either,
for example, you go to a planet and you find a criminal syndicate and you have to interact with them in some way, and maybe you piss them off, maybe you make friends with them, whatever. And then you move to another planet, and it turns out that that syndicate has a smuggling ring, and then whatever you did on the last planet will then knock on to the next one, in that they may help you or they may hinder you, depending on how you interacted with them, etc. That kind of thing makes worlds feel interconnected and alive.
yeah, that's fair. Eventually, I hope to get a little bit more into the politics of different planets as you start, like, actually getting a reputation in different places. I'm amused at the direction y'all have taken of like actively announcing yourself as Federation despite literally being sent on a suicide mission.
Well, it's
Like,
plausible. We already have plausible deniability. It doesn't strictly matter what we announce ourselves as. We're in a Federation ship. Anyone with any knowledge would know that.
oh, that's fair.
What we're doing is top secret, but the fact that we're here is technically not illegal.
You're right. Just, I grossly underestimated just Wynn's character in general. Both
How
in how he
absolutely
was,
violent he is.
both stat wise and just I don't know. I figured Wynn's character would be a little bit more like Wynn in general. But I also don't know Wynn when he's playing that kind of role in life, so you know.
I feel like he is just playing himself.
Yeah, yeah. That's no, I agree with that. It's just not what I expected. I was expecting like, you know, a little bit more of a like attempt at de-escalation in certain I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was not it.
Avery, Mason, what have you guys been up to lately?
Work. I've just been doing work. I did a little homework today. Is that you actually kind of pissed me off because it's just annoying. It's something that normally would take me about 30 minutes of just like a basic concentrated effort. But it took me like 2 hours because it was just set up in a tedious way and it wasn't very well described as to what I was supposed to do. So basically, I have to get this. I have this thing called Primal that I got to log into, and I basically look at the body. You know, I switch out what parts I can see, bones, muscles, shit like that, and I got to label them, put them in a PowerPoint, and then describe what they do. And that normally doesn't take long because there's really not that much to the body, unless you're getting like into like inch or like millimeter like length items, which are generally unnecessary unless you're going to medical school. But one thing that's very numerous is lymph nodes. There's a shitload of lymph nodes in your body. And there was no, and I had to go label them all theoretically, is from what those things said, but it didn't really say
Wait,
how
I'm
I'm
sorry.
supposed to do it.
I'm sorry. I just came back to Mason talking about lymph nodes. What did I miss here?
It's for a school assignment.
Okay, I was gonna say I stepped away for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, but yeah, so I have to go. I have to label its bullshit that's around on the body, and it barely fits into a slide. And it's just like I don't even think I got them all because there's that fucking many. It's just like, God damn it, fuck you. I did it though.
Does sound frustrating.
I will say though, that whole time when y'all talk about DM stuff, I was like, fucking hell. I don't know how to do investigation shit. I don't like that. Fucking, that's not how I think. My whole thing is fucking.
I am back.
I'm a big character arc kind of guy. That's what I'm planning to do. If whenever I get around to actually setting a bunch of that stuff for that 4E fantasy game that I want to run for y'all and whatnot.
Oh, you're doing
Yeah,
a
you guys are
4th edition
doing-
one?
A 4th edition Warhammer Fantasy for Hugh
Oh.
and some people
okay.
in another
Very,
system.
very different thing. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I miss D&D 4E a lot.
I've
I
never
want
even
to.
played it.
I want to play a warlord again.
Oh, Warlords were so much fun.
They are. They're like the only class in there that interests me at all.
I
But they're
love.
so cool.
5e in me. But yeah,
The
that would
warlocks
be
of 5e are super cool, but the warlords of 4e are super interesting because they're
Yeah,
they're a
they're
fighter.
healers.
Yeah, they're a fighter, but they're a healer and a supporter.
Yeah, you
They're-
scream at people to make them better, and it actually
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you yell at them and you cause them to use some of their healing power, their own like natural healing things that everybody has. Their like
Yeah.
pool of healing. And then you have a whole bunch of different abilities that are basically like I go to make an attack, and if I hit, then this person that I'm fighting next to, who is my ally, also hits the thing that I am fighting. Or
Somebody
like
gets an ability. It's like a utility ability, and it's called rub some dirt in it. I think that's a warlord ability, actually.
maybe I don't know if this is a 4E ability. I know the 5E translation of it that I saw somebody make. It was I forget exactly what it was called. I could look it up here.
what's
But
it called? The Big Ray?
say what?
I remember seeing a 5e class that was a subclass for fighter that was made that sounded similar to this called the
What?
Banner.
No, it's actually the Warlord. But no, the ability that I'm thinking of is like the white feather or something. I forget the exact name, but it's essentially I make an attack roll. If I hit the target, then every single ally within my radius where I can use my abilities, which is my charisma modifier times 30, they all get bonuses to hit the target with their ranged attacks equal to my intelligence modifier plus my charisma modifier, which
remember
is,
Oh, I
that one.
put something like that for my
but hold on. But if I miss the target, then all of my allies in that radius get to make a free ranged attack against that target at those bonuses.
Okay, that sounds kind of bullshit.
So the difference between those two is essentially if I hit them, they get to keep those. They don't get to make the attacks, but they get to keep the bonuses for, I want to say, like a number of rounds equal to my charisma modifier. Whereas if I miss, then they just get to make one attack at those bonuses. And
My favorite class.
that's if they
by-
have range attacks.
I think I pulled something like that for my captain, or was planning on doing it. For my sci-fi thing I'm writing.
My favorite class in 4U was the Scion, because one of your basic attacks was like one of your normal spells was, okay, you pick an enemy, you make that enemy attack another enemy, and then as you go up in levels, you could give them bonuses to hit and bonuses to damage. But I loved the idea of puppeting different enemies. It was just so much fun to play with.
If only you could make an enemy hit themselves and literally just be like, "Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself!"
I think there are abilities that do that though.
I'm sure there are.
Like I remember the at will attack, or at least one of them was you pick an enemy and then it goes and hits something else. You can move it around, and the whole thing with PowerPoints was kind of interesting too. But no, that was just easily my favorite class. And then they got a Paragon path called the Alienist, which was interesting. Or maybe that was third edition. I don't remember.
Hey Avery,
Yes.
can I pick your brain on that in the near future?
Yeah, sure. On Scions, the Alienist, or Eldritch Horror.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, what was I don't even remember what I was talking about earlier.
Lymph nodes.
No, I finished that.
Oh, okay.
Thinking.
All right.
Oh, I was talking about how I plan to run a game that he was going to be in. Yeah, the whole point of that game is to be very character focused because it's driven by a shared affliction by the characters in game. One which I kind of described as forcing the players into. Have you ever played Persona 3 or are
Yes.
aware of it?
Yo.
You know
No.
so you know the 13th hour or whatever it's called?
The Dark Hour, yeah.
Yeah, the Dark Hour. It basically forces them into something like that.
Interesting.
But
That's pretty cool.
I described it as more of like a perfect inverse of where they already are.
So for context, in Persona 3, the Dark Hour is it's a period of time between midnight and 1, and everything is frozen. People are kind of replaced with these weird coffiny things, and there's a bunch of monsters that roam around called shadows.
Yeah.
And that's when you do your missions.
Yeah. But for the purposes of what I want to do, it's like I would, when I would get to it, I would describe it as phase shifting. But basically, they like shift onto a different plane where that which is dark is light, and that which is light is dark, which is visually really weird to represent. Although I think I've seen it once. I I don't remember where though.
So
I'd have to
through
go-
like negative
Like,
photos?
negative, yeah.
Yeah, effectively.
Interesting.
And basically, everything that's there is hostile to the afflicted persons, being the player characters. And some of those things which are hostile reflect people who are actually there, including named characters within the setting. And each PC has a line that comes from their feet,
hmm
basically like an ink path. And
Oh, okay.
they don't know where it goes. It's something you can follow. And the intention
Interesting.
is based on the story they give me, that leads to something that'll be the end of their character arc. And I
Huh.
base the path that they choose to follow. I base the things that happen around them on the paths they choose in what order. And
I
maybe
mean, that-
give side missions where needed.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yep. I decided to
Sounds
have it this way.
interesting.
Yeah. That's the reason why I gave y'all like free reign of races to choose, even if it's something like Skaven. Because the presumption is in your affliction you'll help each other to get rid of it. Using whatever rationale you can. If you're a normally non-cooperative race.
Boop. I'ma just go around the chat, booping everybody. Boop Avery.
What? Hi.
Boop. Boop.
Only works sometimes.
Hey! There it goes. It's
Yeah, I got it working earlier. But,
okay. It
It's yeah.
it probably needs to be toned down just a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
The
Not like-
distortion is quite high.
Yeah, not like loudness. That's
Not right
fine. Yeah, that's fine. But the distortion is really high. Yeah.
How's that?
this?
Any better?
Better. That's better. Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm messing around with the pitches.
High key, I kind of liked it with the high distortion.
Yeah.
The high
made
distortion
it-
is cool.
Difficult enough to pick out the words that it felt like correct.
Let's try a little bit of a mix here. How's this?
That's actually really good.
Okay, then that's what I'll use to save then.
Sweet.
Yeah, I ended up buying the software that Hugh uses for the Vox voices. So,
Very nice.
and I was messing around with a bunch of different ones, and then I found one called Cybertune, and I'm like, yep, this is it. Perfect.
Hugh, link me, like DM me the a link to the software that you use.
Sure.
Thank you, because I wouldn't mind. I think I wouldn't mind using that for when Noalia gets on the Vox.
Very good.
I remember when I tried to do a voice. I play a Hrud in another game. If you don't know what a Hrud is, they're like trash bendy straws.
Yeah, wasn't there a conversation about Fruid before?
I think there
Yeah.
was, yeah.
But yeah, I remember talking about it.
Oh
when I
yeah,
first-
yeah. I remember.
When I first tried to do it, I had this glass cup because I wanted him to sound weird. Because the only reason he could speak is because he's got this thing that produces his thoughts
Ah.
into language.
Yep.
I wanted it to sound really fucked up.
Mhm.
'Cause he's literally a being that decays things around him. So I put a cup up to my mouth and I did a this voice squeaky like that.
Interesting.
And no one could understand what I was saying apparently.
Yeah, it was a bit hard to hear.
I appreciate that you commit to voices on multiple games. That's
Hell
impressive.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, he very much commits.
Good.
it's kind of boring otherwise. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
fair.
I didn't come here to pretend to be myself.
He does
name.
a voice in all 3 of my games.
That's amazing. I love that Agiltrom is routinely oscillating between very Russian and very Scottish.
Yeah, I'll never pin one down.
Oh no, it's good.
This,
I like
this is
it.
just the natural accent of the Scots. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. It's charming. I like it.
Hugh.
I do actually want to like pose a quick quiz question to you. Which voice do you think that I do is most taxing?
For you?
Antor, probably.
Actually, that's the easiest one.
Then you have a remarkably deep range.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that one's easy. The only thing that's even vaguely hard is to make noises like that while I'm also speaking. So,
I got
Those are
super fucking
very
high
difficult.
yesterday. And I spent about 10 minutes trying to trill my R's at my cats.
Oh,
How dare you not let
I
me hear?
can't do it. Not consistently. It drives me up the bloody wall.
I once way back as a kid, I found out, and I've never been able to replicate this, but I don't know why I was doing this, but I was just messing around with different voices while I was hanging around with one of my brothers, and I found a way to whisper and talk at the same time. To basically have two different sounds to my voice that made it sound like I was whispering and talking at the same time.
There's a
and
singing technique that uses that.
I can believe that. But yeah, I don't remember what I did. I showed it to my brother, and it was really cool. And we never spoke of it again. It never came up again. And I have not been able to replicate it since.
There's a kind of singing that does something similar, and usually when you see it, it's people using it to do a whistling to go with it rather than a whisper thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, and it's like a almost sub-vocal sound that you have going on in the background
Yes.
to go along with whatever words that are happening. And so you
Yes.
use the air pushing out of the sub-vocal sound to create what would normally be your like spoken words.
100%.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, that very much describes what it was.
Alright then. And that's the end of our break. So, when we left off, Riven had shot down a wall and almost run someone over, killing one person. Flux had gunned down a civilian in the street. And Walia and Angletrom had just saved the life of Vicar Emmanuel after slicing his hand off.
got him.
And
Why do I'm gonna real quick post this in game chat. I can't stop fucking listening to this song, and it does not fit this at all.
Huh.
for those watching this at a later date that are wondering, Mason just posted. I don't know what the title, like which is the title and which is the name of the band, but Onegai Muscle Hibiki Sakura.
Yeah.
Right,
Onegai
right.
Muscle is the song.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was an immediate ban.
Thank you for revealing this about yourself, Mason. Banhammer. No.
Oh man. If we get banned for anime openings, then I really should not post anything.
Yeah.
You're clearly both degenerates.
Absolutely.
My music tastes are very wide and varied.
I do
From
it.
your
Right,
local
same.
Japanese pop.
That just makes you even
I-
more of a degenerate.
Well,
I do enjoy
I
a
guess I'm
good
also a
good
degenerate
Japanese
because I
music.
actively enjoy listening to Irish rebel songs.
Well,
I
fair.
quite like Irish shit. I was listening
okay.
to a playlist of Irish punk songs the other day.
Oh, there's a lot of good stuff for that.
Ew.
Yes,
We need to listen to more murder ballads.
they are fun. But yeah, you had just kicked off a hell of a fireworks display. What are you guys doing?
So, Riven has successfully linked Nuali up to the Vox
Yep.
Yep.
Hailers. Is it the Vox
Yes.
Hailers that are the
Vox
the
hailers are
protectors?
loudspeakers.
Or
Yes.
loudspeakers? Okay.
Plug in.
Yeah, Nualia is going to attempt to talk to the citizens of the Imperium and attempt to use leadership or whatever you think would work in this case. I'm hoping for leadership to try and talk sense to them through the psychic miasma. And she is going to say, "Citizens of the Imperium, right now what you are feeling is not yourself. This is heresy. Psycha heresy brought on by Vicar Emmanuel. You need to fight through it. Come back to the Emperor's light. He is here, waiting for all of us. Come back to the Emperor."
All right.
Can I help in this if there's a role?
You're
I
not
do
even
have-
You don't have a Vox unit.
Oh,
But
no, I can't go to her.
he can shout through mine if they can hear Vicar speaking through mine.
Yeah.
Could I?
Solid.
If he wants to
Go
shout,
for it.
like if he wants to like shout something in the background.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be remotely as loud as Nualia's voice, but you could
mean-
feasibly be heard.
Agritrom's pretty loud, so
This
I'll-
is true.
It's short. Yeah. Return to your senses! Awash in golden light! And that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
it's very good.
Nualia and Angrotrum's voices echo out over the square. Flux, you can hear them as you run down the road through the chaos. None of the raving individuals seem to pay much heed, except for those around the Taurox. Some had still been fighting some of the remaining militia, and they turn on the Taurox and begin hammering at it, shaking it on its suspension.
So no leadership role to see if I could give them something to help.
Unfortunately not.
Okay. That's fair.
You can give me a leadership roll, though.
Okay. And with Agroltrom assisting.
Yeah, let
Yes.
me grab that. I actually do have good dice for that.
Nice. Good. Yeah, not bad.
6.
The militia that seem unaffected by the psychic malaise push themselves away from their attackers and begin moving towards the Taurox, firing on the crazed civilians and their former comrades. They cut a few of them down, and they form a cordon around the Taurox, holding the civilians back.
Yeah, you figure most of these militia were not aware that that they were helping a heretic.
There is a blinding flash of light, Riven, as the las cannon opens up, soaring a massive beam. There we go. Soaring through civilians in a wave. If you've ever seen The Boys, and you've seen what Homelander gets up to, picture that, but bigger.
The boys.
And a chunk of the civilians are cut down.
Yep.
Into my theory.
And you said the wall of the building was opened?
Yes, the wall of the building has crumbled into a large hole, revealing the shattered remains of a dining table and some chairs beyond.
And I know with what was left of my turn, because that was just my interaction, I want to begin the investigation of the town hall to try and see if I can find whether or not there's a psyker in here. I know I won't be able to actually make the check this round, but I'd like to set that into motion.
All right. As you move to the door, you can hear the stamping of feet.
I will check outside.
Yeah, a group of about 10 militiamen have gathered in the hall outside the door and are aiming their guns at the door. As you open it, they open volley fire.
Oof.
I'm gonna ruin that and re-roll that damage. That's better. 16 damage, no AP.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that hurts. I would like to roll determination.
Be my
That's
guest.
Ouchie.
Oh, thank God. So I have
Good determination.
5 shock total, so I can resist 4 of those wounds.
Yep.
So I am out of shock, but I take 2 wounds.
The massed hail of lasgun fire obliterates the wooden door, hammering into your armor. You feel a couple of plates crack under the fusillade, and you feel several bolts punch through the unarmored seals around your hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, burning your flesh to ragged ruin.
Then yeah, Noalia will just call out, just cry out in pain, and then just shout out, Lanewald! Agril, clear the way!
I thought you'd never ask!
Agron scares me.
You should.
Alright,
I respect
Lanewald
this man's determination.
Lanewald will grab a heavy stubber and fire through the ruined doorway.
So
Fuck
can't
it, she'll
Agron
salvo.
not do a whole lot right now because he's still holding the fucking detonator?
Axe is
Like-
only one-handed.
If you fuck up and get a crit, everything could blow.
I think it'll be fine. I'm not going to just stand there.
Alright, Lanewald unleashes a hail of fire that cuts down 2 of them. As she sweeps the gun across, a third is caught, and then the stubber clacks loudly and ceases to fire. She shakes it a bit, frowning at it.
But she did kill a
Ah.
few of them, yes?
Yes, she killed 3 of them.
Oh, excellent.
There are 5 left.
Okay.
Agrotrom, you are clutching a severed hand that will explode a lot of things if you let go.
And I got an axe in the other one.
That is true.
So the time has come. I'm sprinting at these motherfuckers, and they're about to eat some Grimball fucking sandwich.
I would say you can definitely charge them.
Ah! No, he doesn't yell like that. It's probably more like, ah! Anyway.
Is it a sandwich if you only have 1 axe, though?
This is fair. We should get him another.
Maybe not right this
We-
moment, but yes.
But we should.
No one can replace
A paired set.
Look, I'm already doing that in another game, man.
This is your fault for wielding axes.
Dual wielder.
I'm
In
gonna
a 40k game at that, like.
I'm gonna turn it. I'm gonna turn it 2-handed. I'm gonna make a chain. I'm gonna differentiate myself from my Beastman. Come on, don't do this to me.
I mean, in
Anyway.
fairness, Beastman is going to be used for, like, not that many campaigns.
I mean, I might bring it back. He's got a strong. Anyway, Beyond this, charge is what? 2 more dice on attack or damage? One.
One
Okay.
more dice on attack.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Whoever is closest, they're gonna get this axe, and it's not gonna be fun.
They are clustered in a group. The front rank the front rank kneeling, and the second rank standing.
I mean, he could take 2 people's heads off at once.
Yeah.
Well,
fuck
they are
their
a
way.
mob. He will hit as many as he hits.
Yeah.
Which is 4 of them.
Eh.
Go ahead and roll damage.
No problem. Oh, sweet. 10 damage.
All right, yeah, you hack
it has
these 4
rending,
guys.
so it's AP.
You hack these 4 guys down easily.
He literally gets in there. He just one guy in the shoulder. He just breaks into the line. Just starts hacking. One arm here. A guy's jaw there. A big toe somehow. Takes the guy out. He can't stand anymore. He lost balance. It's a real phenomena. Look it up.
It's actually true. If you lose your big or little toes, it can actually drastically affect your balance.
Yep.
Takes like a week of rehab. But yeah, you hack these men down, leaving one survivor who stares down at you, soaked in blood, clutching a severed hand in your left hand. And he's going to have to make me a resolve check.
If he doesn't make it,
Yes.
he definitely should wet himself.
Yeah, he drops his lasgun and turns to run, slipping on the blood and slamming into the ground, scrabbling to get away from you.
Now, child! You either sit or I take away your running privileges!
Give me an intimidation roll.
Privileges, do you mean legs?
Let him find out.
He is terrified. He continues to attempt to flee. And we will flip to Flux. As fighting breaks out in the street, crazed civilians attacking the militia.
Yeah, I'm taking back roads to detour around and get into the main building where they are.
You're not really that familiar with this town.
It is an intersection. I feel like I should be able to go, this many things? Yeah, keep walking.
Well, there are certainly side roads branching off from you, but you don't know if they loop back to the square.
Oh, you're going off of your fucking system. My brain is like, yes, clearly there are T intersections because
No, if
roads
this
are
were-
built like.
If this were a planned out imperial settlement, then yes, but this is just a little town that has organically grown up.
This is some bullshit. Get a city planner in here, stat. Okay. Yeah, then I'm gonna take the shortest route, kind of hugging the buildings and trying to stay away from the fighting.
Give me a stealth roll with your +1. As it is still dark, night still has hold. The streets are illuminated fairly well by street lamps, but there
Can
are
I
still
steal-
shadows aplenty.
Of glory.
Yeah, feel free. If the rest of the group is,
Yeah, go for it.
That's an extra success. So 5 total.
I'm back.
welcome back.
As you sneak past Flux, some of the militia spot you and call out for help. You, please! There's too many of them! Help us! But the crazed civilians do not seem to notice you as they continue to attack the militiamen.
Is there anyone that saw me and needed help that was close enough that I wouldn't have to detour too far?
There are several in the street, a couple on your side. You can see 2 militiamen ahead of you by a street lamp, holding a couple of civilians back with their rifles, blocking their blades and shoving them away.
How many is a couple?
2.
Really two. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and give him a hand on my way to the building.
All right. What do you do to give them a hand?
Well, I've got my last gun. I guess I'm just gonna fire on both.
All right. Go ahead and give me a attack roll. Critical hit. Go ahead and roll 2d6.
Yeah, I feel like as much as we would all love to protect as many lives as possible, this is a rather extreme situation.
Oh, don't worry, I have a stupid idea for that.
I love your stupid ideas.
And Flux, while you're going, give me an awareness roll while I dig up the crit table. Here we go. Alright, so 41. Vicious vivisection. The fury of this blow causes horrific pain, dissecting pieces of the foe's body in a scene of carnage and woe. Go ahead and roll me 1d3.
On top of my already existing damage.
Yep.
So I should also roll damage.
Yes. Alright, yeah. You gun down the 3 civilians attacking them. How do you want to do this?
As I'm kind of rushing by, I'm going to pull my gun out as I run up and fire as I'm running. And then I'm going to stop in front of them, give them a bit of a nod, and then gesture at the building. Come with me.
They both nod, hefting their rifles and run after you, taking pot shots at any of the civilians that start to get too close. As you run down the street, Flux, you glance over your shoulder. The civilians have only burst out of a few of the houses. It doesn't seem to have affected the entire street. But as you run into the square, followed by these 2 men, everyone go ahead and give me another willpower roll.
Everyone?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, one sec.
Yikes forever.
Yeah, glory.
Huh.
Agril, if you would like
Oof.
to take Agril and Riven, if you would like to spend a couple of glory.
Yeah.
We just earned 2, so
Apparently, Noel, you're making it rain.
I'll do 1.
okay.
I should probably also take one.
See, Riven, you go ahead and do 2 there.
Okay, that's fine. I'll do 2. Done.
Okay, and Mason, go ahead and do another one there, buddy.
Sure. What sucks is that if what happens, I actually won't kill anyone, but I will die.
Mm.
I think 3
Hey.
successes, but I still got that complication, which I wonder how that'll pan out.
Yeah.
Probably with all of us dying.
All right. So,
Good point.
you all feel another wave of fury creep across your mind. Riven, Flux, Nualia, you are able to hold it back, pushing against it. Angrotrom, you are overtaken with a murderous bloodlust.
That ain't
Nualia
normal.
and Lanewold, you are able to see as Angrotrom leaps on the man who was fleeing, slamming his axe into his back again and again, hacking him into a bloody mess, throwing gouts of gore across the hallway. And after about the 5th blow, Angletrom, you return to your senses, drenched in blood. Fortunately, still clutching the severed hand.
Yeah. He just like breathes heavily. I told you. Huh? Wait. He looks. It's not the legs. That's not the legs. That's not the legs. That's not the legs. That's not the legs.
Calm down, Agril. Just focus on your hand. Don't let go.
Oh, the trigger. Yes. Yes. What? He keeps looking at the
Curiosity.
guy. It's like, why? Why did I do that?
As I was running, did I see any pattern in the houses that didn't have affected people coming from it?
They were all more than about 4 buildings away from the town center. But as you feel this second pulse, Riven, no, Riven, you can't really hear anything, you're in the Taurox. But Flux, you can just make out screaming erupting across the city, across the town, rather.
Lovely.
Yikes.
It seems to be spreading with each wave of rage that you feel.
We shouldn't have come here.
No, this
We needed to.
yeah,
This
this
is about our normal.
yeah. This was
yeah.
gonna happen whether we were here or not, but this means we can
Yeah.
solve this.
That is true.
Quick question. From what I knew about Brock's abilities, from what it had seemed with the whole thing there, and from what I know about the city and where people have been coming from, is there any way I could roll like a scholar or something to get an idea of where would be best to start looking for this source?
You can certainly give me a scholar roll.
I will if it ever loads.
Probably just lagging a bit.
It's about that time usually when it starts lagging.
Hashtag schedule with lag.
Yeah, almost.
More like what was it? Ages ago on Newgrounds, that the end of the world video. Well, about that time, eh, chaps?
Yep. Wow, that's a scholar roll.
Well, damn.
Damn, nice,
Nice.
very nice.
Flux, you have absolutely no idea what could be causing this. But judging from what's the effect it's having, that it's spreading from the town center, you would imagine there must be something around there that is causing it. Exactly where is hard to say, though you can see a building across the square from you, with your Taurox parked outside, has its wall smashed in.
You're welcome.
You don't know why it's smashed in, but yeah, I wish I could give you more. It's a very good roll, but this is just not something you would have ever experienced.
That's fair. Well, given I know nothing, I guess I'm just gonna keep on my normal, like where I was supposed to be going.
Yeah, you were heading to the town hall to
Mm-hmm.
the dead man's trigger.
Yep.
Alright. You dash through the square, fighting on all sides. You run past a large group of civilians bearing down on a las cannon emplacement.
How's my two buddies?
They are just breaking off to support the men at the las cannon, as they look like they're about to get overwhelmed.
But it looks like all the people that were, like all the militia that were free of the, were resisting have continued to resist.
Yes,
Okay.
so far.
Oh, this sucks. Okay.
I'm just going to get on comm. I don't know what you're doing by that building, but you need to burn it.
Have an idea.
And yeah, I'll keep it to the town hall.
Alright. As you run to the town hall, Riven, give me an awareness roll.
Oh, sure. Yeah. See if I can even pull off my idea, actually. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, Cool.
Mm.
I have one wrath left. I'm gonna use it.
Probably
All
a
right.
good idea.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
nice. Very nice.
I was confused. I had a 6. I have a 6 in awareness, apparently. I was like, how did I end up with 0? Okay. That's my wrath.
Riven, through the hole in the wall that you have just blown,
Uh-huh.
you see a figure dash out of an open door. Seems to be a civilian wearing the blue armband of the militia, his
Okay.
sleeves rolled up. He's carrying a lasgun in one hand and a bloodied knife in the other. And as he glances around, you can see on the inside of his right forearm, holding the knife, a strange brand.
Huh. Okay.
I will draw it out for you quickly.
I did show everybody the symbol so that they knew what they were
Did you?
looking for. Yeah, so that you would all know what you were looking for. Because I knew that the symbol itself wasn't corruptive.
Okay.
And yeah,
You see that symbol, which does indeed match the one Nualia informed you of.
Alright. Okay. Okay, and this person's now outside?
No, he's still inside the building. He's looking at the blasted hole in the wall in shock.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
I'm gonna suggest you blast him again.
Yeah. Okay. I want to ask you about my idea first before I do that, because that's very likely going to be what I do. Is it possible to use a combination of Medicae and tech to plug myself into the Vox and produce a sound that knocks everyone unconscious in a very close vicinity?
I would say you can try to roll a tech to see if you can augment the Voxhalers on the Taurox to produce an exceptionally loud sound.
Okay.
That sound would also probably work in an area of effect that was fairly large.
Yeah, no, I basically what I want to know is, do I know enough about the human body that I could plug myself into the Vox Haler in the Taurox to knock everyone in the town square unconscious?
Give me a Medicae roll.
Okay. This is my stupid idea.
Would you like to ask a question about that and
Fairness,
get
it is-
assistance?
In fairness, that is something that can be done in this. Like, I've got a tech character that we've had this discussion about.
Okay.
But whether
It's
or not
more
your
of,
character knows.
if you do it, everyone, including me running to the thing, might also, and also it could very well go wrong.
So
Yeah.
would you like to ask a question over the Vox to get assistance on this?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about.
Phone a friend, if you will.
Yeah. Yes, I'm absolutely
And-
going to. So,
Phone and
Lieutenant, I want to do something really stupid here. You know.
Speak
At this
plainly
point,
and quickly.
Yeah. Yes. Do you know? Is there a way I can knock people unconscious with sound?
Okay. Can I assist with my Medicaid?
Sure.
Thank you. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me!
No, fuck you.
I have no wrath, so yeah,
Okay.
that's it. You get +1.
Nualia, you're not really sure. You're pretty sure it's possible to knock someone out with sound, but you're not sure how loud that would have to be. Riven, you aren't confident you could knock them out with sound, but a particularly loud noise that could potentially burst eardrums would definitely distract and hinder them for a while.
Yeah, 'cause their eardrums would be shattered.
It would also draw the attention of everyone in the city.
Yeah.
Scream!
That was kind of my plan. Alright, I'm taking the option I don't want, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay. Autocannon on the hole that I just blasted in the wall.
Blow him to smithereens.
All right, go for it.
Nothing left.
This is on the Taurox, or is this ballistics on me?
You can do either.
Alright.
Not to ruin this man's day.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage. You can shift 1/6.
I'll put that to glory. Since that's 17
Alright.
damage.
Damn it, Jesus.
Got him.
Yeah, he is obliterated in a hail of autocannon shells, his body torn apart, splattered across a wide section of the room. The shells hammer through the wall behind him and reveal a small, darkened room with an open trapdoor.
Alright.
Hey, you're gonna have to go heretic cave diving.
Yo, sounds
Mhm.
like it. Okay. Do I still have a movement? How does this work?
You didn't move the Taurox, so yeah.
Alright.
Still.
Shit. I think I'm gonna get out of the Taurox. Wait, no, sorry. Okay. While I'm in the Taurox, I'm going to which one do I have with me? Lanewald or Packard? I can't remember which one.
You've got
doesn't have my notes.
Packard and
Packard,
Feely.
thank you. Okay. I'm gonna grab the Melta and my last pistol and tell Packard, I'm going out there. I'm going after them. Cover me.
Packard nods and grabs his long las, but jerks his head towards Feely. What about him?
If I don't make it back, just Fox Lieutenant and tell her I'm doing something stupid.
He nods. You heard the woman? Feely kind of looks between you and Packard and picks up the box.
Oh, and-
Lieutenant? The Engineer has a plan. She's jumping out of the Taurox. Should we follow?
Do it. I'll go to the front of the town hall and try and get as many people to the safety of the town hall as possible.
Understood.
He turns to Packard, nods, and they both grab their guns and follow you out, Riven.
Fine with me. Let's try not to die.
They both give you a grim nod and raise their weapons. The militiamen around you are still fighting off the Kree civilians, doing their best not to openly gun them down, clubbing them across the head, but they're taking a surprising beating.
It's sort of like facing the Joker. It's almost like sheer bloodlust, does some shit to your strength and your ability to take a shot.
Okay, they were all defending the Toroks, right?
They are, yes.
Okay, I'm going to yelp them real quick and say, leave the Toroks. If you can, come with me.
They give you a wary look as you just gunned down what they believe is one of their members.
Listen, you guys come with me if you want to live.
Bruh.
Give me an intimidation roll there. I'll give you a +1 voice.
Oh, thank you. I have it set to hotkey just in case I need it. Oh wait, sorry, I did not roll +1 on that, but I rolled a 4.
Not bad. See if you get a little bit higher.
Okay. Intimidation. This one. Off.
Just do another D6.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
No extra success. They flinch away from you, Riven, but the one who spoke nods, and they begin pushing towards the hole in the wall. Back, you foul creatures! One of them smashes one across the head with the butt of his rifle. It clearly cracks the skull and splits the skin. Blood gushes down from the wound. But the civilian rears up, screeching at him, and throws herself on him, bearing him down with a pair of scissors, stabbing into his neck.
Ooh, poor bastard.
Which one?
The one who spoke to you.
Yeah, no,
Right.
that's. That was to Knuda.
Ah, yeah, fair.
Both of them, poor
Yes,
bastards.
yes, is the answer.
Yeah. The poor bastard who just got stabbed, and if that civilian doesn't get killed and, we can wake these people up from this bloodlust, poor motherfuckers all around.
Yeah.
All right. Riven, you and your new flunkies, along with Packard and Feely, push your way towards the door. It's rough fighting. A couple of the civilians break through and lunge at you. How do you respond?
I am going to beat them with my servo arm and try not to shoot anybody
Alright.
if I can avoid it.
Go ahead and give me an attack with your servo arm. Remember that it is a clumsy weapon, and therefore you are at a -2 penalty.
Awesome. That's weapon skill?
Yep.
Oh boy. Alright. How do I add minus to this?
You don't have to worry about that. I handled that.
Okay. I've got a whole 2, so that's -1.
Yeah, you swing your servo arm, but it is a heavy, slow cybernetic, and the man lunging at you ducks under your arm. He throws a punch at your gut, dealing 3 damage, which I don't think is enough to do anything to you.
I have So I've got 7 resilience, or is that
Yeah.
not that?
You're fine. He
Black
punches
armor.
at you, and yeah, it slams into your armor. He does not abate, slamming his fists into you. The second figure that lunged at you, you see now is little more than a teenager, a young girl, carrying a heavy cleaver. She hacks at your leg with it.
Hugh, can I just say, Did you ever play the old PlayStation 1 game Medieval?
I
I
know
did
that
not
game.
play it, but I have seen a lot about it,
Congratu-
especially the recent remake.
Congratulations on remaking the scene where all the townspeople get possessed and, like, start attacking everything.
You're welcome.
You've done really, really well.
But that is 2 successes to hit you, Riven. What is your defense?
It's a 1, so
Okay.
that'll hit for
It
sure.
does hit you, but just barely.
Okay.
Dealing 9 damage.
Okay. 7 resilience, so I have to.
2 wounds or roll determination.
Yeah, I'll roll determination. That thing. Here we go.
All right. You soak one of them, take 2
Alright.
shock and 1 wound.
Okay. Can we play this as the knife is buried in my leg, but I just take that and keep running?
Yeah, sure. With a thunk, the cleaver slams into your leg, biting into the flesh. You grit your teeth in pain, but you just stomp through it.
Like, can I take the cleaver in my leg? Just keep running?
Sure, why not?
Nice.
Sweet, free
They're a
cleaver.
bit crazed. All right, and we will switch back to Flux, Nualia, and Angrotrom. As Angrotrom comes to his senses and Nualia tries to calm him, Lanewald trying to unjam her heavy stubber, Flux bursts through the doors to see this tableau of Angrotrom kneeling over a body drenched in blood, Nualia looking a little worse for wear, and Lanewald, who has clearly been shot but doesn't actually seem too bothered by it. And just bodies and blood everywhere.
I see you've been busy.
A bit?
Yes, killing traitors. And not killing them the way I said I would. Annoying.
Indeed, a little bit busy, but here,
Trigger?
Here, Agril, give Flux the trigger. I'm going to the door.
Yes. He like make sure the guy's hand is closed on it. Here. It's a little sticky. Sorry about that.
It is dripping
Yeah.
with blood.
I'll gingerly take that and start to work.
Go ahead and give me a tech roll with a +1. Yeah, this is a simple spring trigger. With a bit of void tape, you strap it up, keeping it closed. It is effectively disarmed.
That's fair. I just
Killing
want
the
to
signal in any way would set off the explosives. This is your best option.
That's fair. Lit. Yeah, fuck it. I'll shove that in my pocket.
Yeah. Nualia, Angrotrom, what are you doing as Flux does this?
Nualia is running to the door, and she's going to have her las gun out. And is going to have it on low power. And is going to use her own Voxhailers and say, "To all loyalist militia who can still retain their mind, retreat to the town hall immediately. We'll bar the doors. Get here now. We'll provide covering fire. Low power. We'll try to keep everyone alive." And yeah, I'll start taking shots to provide cover for retreat.
When I get the trigger handled, I'm going to make my way over to Nualia. Riven's going there, and that's our best bet right now.
I
I'm not letting
heard
her go alone. She can't take care of herself.
She's got Packard, Feely, and sounds like some of the others. If you think you can get over there, then do so, but sounds like only a few are going to be able to go down there right now. I need to try and keep people alive.
I'm gonna hand Nualia the trigger. Is void taped down? Don't break it. Signal shuts off, it'll set things off.
Then probably the best place would be to leave it on a table in here.
Yeah, I don't trust it around people that aren't, Yeah.
I understand, but even I'm feeling the effects of the witch. I do not entirely trust myself right now, but whatever you think is best right now.
Flux is just gonna nod. Taking it with me then.
Very well. Good luck. And
I will yeet myself towards that house.
And yeah, Malia goes back to providing covering fire. Definitely
Alright.
focusing her fire over there the most. As I said, she's on low power, so she's trying to do stunning blasts.
Alright, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Okay. 3.
You squeeze off a stream of las bolts at one of the creatures, clipping a pair of them. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Just base 7.
Yeah, they flail and lurch, one of them dropping to their knees under the flurry of shots. Raw burns and visible through charred holes in their clothing. But they stagger back to their feet and turn towards you.
Come on then! Come and face my fists!
Alright, Flux. There is a crowd of about 9 or 10 civilians swarming a group of militia, and you can make out Riven's servo arm among them.
The arm just goes up, comes back down, goes up, comes back down.
Time to do some Rudy Tooty point and shooty. How far away from me are they?
About 20 meters or so.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot them if that's chill.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
Damn.
nice.
Yeah. You can hit 8 of them, or you can choose to shift dice. Alright.
I think you have your answer.
Are you also using low power?
Well,
Alright. A hail of las bolts erupts from your gun, Flux. You sweep it across the crowd. Several of them drop. 8 of them in total, leaving only 3 of them behind. The 2 that are turned to Nualia, and 1 other that is quickly clubbed to the ground by the militiamen.
I'm specifically only shooting at the ones around Riven and in
Yeah.
that direction. Okay, cool. Just make sure.
Yeah, that was them.
What?
Sorry, what just happened?
I just murdered everyone near you.
Oh, thanks.
Alright, Angrotrom, what are you doing?
Well, he kind of wants to go find some fucking heretics.
You should join my friend on the Great Crusade.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a crusade. If you mean like an axe to the skull. Anyway,
Sounds like a crusade to me.
yeet. Yeah, no, he's going out. He's gonna basically that's what he's doing. He's just gonna run out of field and find anyone who fucking is not like a baseline ass civilian. He's basically trying to sniff out freakos.
Well, red are civilians, blue are militia, the purple is the las cannon, and yeah, you guys will have your tokens.
Okay.
I don't know how far I'm allowed to move, so I'm just gonna slowly keep inching my character forward.
You can move there. We'll get to you in a minute. This is happening in quick succession. You are effectively in turn order, but since they're all moving as one and you're all moving as a group, it doesn't matter.
Valid.
I guess as far as I'm concerned, it's wherever Riven's going.
All right, you can see two of the crazed civilians towards Riven who are currently running towards you, in fact. Well, Nualia, but you are right next to Nualia in the doorway.
Oh. Well, what's going to happen is they're going to get charged and I'm basically going to bop them with the flats and just be like, to sleep with you! It is bedtime! Nap, nap!
It is the sleepy times. It is the time for the sleep.
Something, sleepy junctions! You know can function!
Get you warm milk.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll with your axe, Angletrom.
That group drum make you sleep like a baby.
So, for the purposes of understanding the rules, when you are trying to use non-lethal damage with an otherwise lethal weapon, I am saying you do half damage as wounds and the rest is shock.
Okay.
I see.
You also critted.
But yes, that is a critical hit. Go ahead and roll 2d6 and we'll sugarcoat it non-lethal.
Was he a crit non-lethal? How do you non-lethally eviscerate someone?
Let's see what it is. Also, I
Alright.
technically would receive shock back for this because of my avatar of blood, but I haven't taken any shock damage, so that kind of sucks. But you know.
All right, Angletrom, you sprint forward at these two. Go ahead and roll damage,
No problem.
and then
What's the base crit?
1d3.
I don't know what base crit was.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what the exact crit was because it doesn't apply. I am reflavoring it.
But I really want to know so that I can see how badly you have to reflavor it.
Well, you're welcome to look it up in the rulebook if you want
I
to
am
find
a
out.
lazy bitch, and you know this.
But yeah, Agrotrom, you run forward and you turn your axe around to slap them with the blunt side. You slam the first one in the chest with an upward strike. You hear bones break and you see flesh tear. A gout of blood erupts from the wound, and the civilian drops to his knees, clutching his side, and coughs up a gout of blood. He's not unconscious, but he is definitely not in the fight anymore.
He's
You notice he is
unpunchable.
only wearing a nightgown.
You should
Yes.
get medical aid.
The second one you smack again with the blunt of your axe, cracking them in the arm. You hear the arm break, but they seem to completely disregard it as they pick up the knife they had dropped and lash out at you with it.
Huh? That's literally the sound he makes. What?
Oof, that was a good roll. What is your defense, Agrotrom?
It's not super good. It's 2.
Alrighty then. That's not a good damage roll. I'm going to re-roll that.
Yikes.
Alright. That is 11 damage.
Ooh.
As this
Ouch.
woman slashes at you.
Okay, so after 8, that goes down 3. Yeah, I'll roll determination. And the ordering this sucks. Fuck. All right, that's 1 damage for 2 shock.
3 shot.
Oh, okay, I see.
You spend
There.
1 to soak, and then you take the rest of shock.
I see. I didn't know if the exalted counted that way. There.
Unfortunately not, unless you have a talent that allows it, which there is one.
I don't
I
have
think
that.
it's called Determined or something. But yeah, you restore a shock when you roll a critical on your determination roll on any of the dice. So you can negate the cost of the initial soak and more if you want.
Nice.
I see. I actually know what you're talking. It's called Tenacious, is what it is. I
That's
have
the
it
one.
streaky.
Yeah.
And it's pretty
Yep.
much if you roll a 6, then it restores a shock. But it does that for each 6 that you roll?
Yeah.
I think it's up to like tier limit per roll.
Okay.
But yeah.
I don't
Nice.
remember that, but that might I may have an old version of it.
I don't know. But either way, it is a very effective ability.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But yeah.
That instead of Avatar of Blood, but I like Avatar of Blood.
Yeah, the woman lunges at you, her broken arm dangling lamely, and stabs you under the armpit with the blade. It sinks through your padded armor and into your flesh. As she rips it out, there's a gout of blood.
Oh, I'd chop you in half if you weren't a civilian! Ow! Fuck! I'll take that knee from you! He's just mad.
I don't have to take this kind of shit from you!
Riven, it is your turn.
Kalishka, babushka.
All right, I'm gonna head into the house.
Alright, you step through the ruined hole into what was once a dining room of some kind, or perhaps an open plan living space. There was a large table here. It has been obliterated by autocannon fire.
Mhm.
The middle of the room has a large red stain that seems to have splashed out towards the wall. There are bits of meat still dripping from the ceiling and the walls. And beyond that puddle is the ruin of another wall and a doorway, beyond which is a trap door. There is another door to your left that is closed currently.
Okay. Okay, who's still with me?
Feely, Packard, and 3 of the militia.
And I'm
Flux is
trying to be
running
with you.
towards you.
All right, I'm gonna tell the militia stand guard at this door. No, break down this door. If just that's it. I'm just gonna tell them break down the door.
All right. Yeah, they run up and with a bit of a heave, they ram the door in, slams open, revealing a small corridor with a stairway leading upwards and another door at the far end.
And that's still on
Okay.
the first floor of the house?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Shit. I'm going after the trapdoor. So I'm just gonna say, look, anyone who wants to come with me, I'm heading down that trapdoor.
Please tell me I'm there and able to follow. Like now.
Are able to run past the corpses up to them at this point, yes.
Okay. And then I'm
Do
gonna
not
head down the
ever do
trapdoor.
something that stupid again.
Which part? I feel like I've had a lot of those today.
Gestures wildly at the, like, however many corpses I just shot to get you out of that crowd.
I appreciate it, but we gotta go make one more.
Yeah, why do you think I'm here?
It's to rely on you. Figured you'd get here before things got too bad.
Take too many risks. Let's go.
Yeah, but you love it though.
Gonna have to put a bell on you.
And running for the trapdoor.
Yeah, was like any further, and I was just gonna have Nualia blare out over a box. Less talking, more witch killing.
All right. You run over to the trapdoor. A steep set of stone stairs lead down into a cellar of some kind. It's dimly lit by flickering candles and lanterns. As you run down, into the chamber below, you find yourself in a wide cellar with a series of barrels stacked across one wall and a hole that seems to have been knocked in the wall off to one side and then reinforced with wooden bracing, leads down a narrow tunnel deeper underground, lined with sconces bearing lanterns.
Shit.
Okay, I'm gonna grab one of the sconces. Are they like torches?
They are lanterns, but you can grab one, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna grab one.
I'm
and
gonna
then- What's up?
I'm gonna nudge Riven. If you don't mind,
Oh yeah, this is kind of your specialty. Sorry.
you might want to try and get the drop on whoever's there. Maybe follow a couple feet behind.
Sure, I can do that.
All right.
I'm going to attempt to stealth.
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Huh? Nope. I'm gonna wrath that because I still have one.
Mhm.
All right. And remember, you can all regain wrath by completing your objective.
I think that'll probably do.
Yeah, 9 successes. Pretty good. Flux disappears into the shadows, the cloak shimmering slightly as they melt away, and you lose track of them almost immediately, Riven.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna take the opposite tack because I'm not stealthy and I'm not gonna pretend that I am.
That is fair.
So I'm just gonna call out.
Come on out, motherfucker. Think we got some unfinished business.
Your voice echoes down the tunnel, but you hear no reply.
Of course not.
Packard darts past you, Riven, attempting to slink into the darkness as well.
Mm-hmm.
How well does he do?
pretty well.
Not shit.
Damn.
Yeah, darting from shadow to shadow, you can barely make him out as he passes the pools of light of the lanterns.
This is like the one thing that Packard is good at.
You would think that. Sometimes he...
Sometimes
Yeah,
he gets a really good shot, and then the rest of the time it's just like his gun just backfires.
I mean, that's tricky how snipers be, though.
Flux, you and Packard sneak your way down this tunnel, and you quickly come across a T-junction, a road, another tunnel branching off to your left. Go ahead and give me an awareness roll. Well,
I'm not gonna-
you don't hear anything, but as you creep forward, Packard lightly taps your shoulder, says, "Listen." And you
You won't hear anything now.
you can very faintly make out what sounds like voices chanting coming down the left-hand path.
Real quick. Remind me the difference between a frag grenade and a crack grenade.
Crack grenades are a small fusion explosive designed to melt through armor. Frag grenades are fragmentation grenades that fire a cloud of metal fragments everywhere.
Frag grenades are going to be for more enemies.
Frag grenade
Frag
is
grenades for
anti-infantry.
infantry.
Frag grenade is anti-infantry. Crack grenade is anti-armor.
Right. Then I'm going to pull a frag grenade out and continue to sneak.
All right, Riven, do you follow?
Yes, but at enough of a I should, but I don't know how to draw. It's impossible to draw their attention while it's down a single hallway, huh?
It'll only go your
I
way.
mean, you can move up to the junction.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna move up to the junction and then
Packard
then I'm
would
just gonna
signal
start-
to you that he's heading down that corridor with Flux.
okay. Is there any way if I take this sconce that I have and just start beating it against the wall? Is there any way that I can get them to pay more attention to me and less to my friends?
They're all down the same corridor. They would run into
Right.
Flux and
Right,
Packard
right.
before they got
I'm
to you.
gonna recommend just slowly make your way towards us.
Yeah, all right. I'll just do the slightly more insane thing and follow
Alright.
the pace
Don't
behind.
the angry cultists know you're there. It
Oh.
doesn't usually.
Sure.
Back on the surface, Nualia and Angreltrom, what are you two doing?
Aggro's got that well in hand, I think. No, I'm gonna let Aggro go first.
He's gonna slap this bitch, and then he's gonna go after them and Riven, Flex and Riven, because
Alright,
he smells heretics.
go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Whap.
Alright, that certainly hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Big ouch for them.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, yeah, you knock this person out. How do you want to do that?
Basically, they stab me. You know, I start yelling, and I basically just, I think, reaching for the wound. I'm like, ah, fuck! Like I don't even look at them, and I just swing and fucking crack across the head. As they like fall over, like, ah, wonderful. Ow!
Yeah, he also unconscious.
I think I kick him in the shin as I run by. Squat running here.
Alright. Nualia, what about you?
I am gonna take a couple of shots over here to try and assist these guys. Still low power.
Alright, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
8 with
Damn.
a crit.
Yeah, go ahead and roll 2d6 for your crit, and you can hit most of the ones there.
Sweet. 45.
45. Alright. Yeah, you unleash a hail of las bolts. Go ahead and roll damage.
Just regular damage.
Alright, and roll me 1d3.
1.
Alright. Yeah. Your las bolts flash out, scattering across them. Several of the civilians are hit full in the face. You see an eye fly out across the crowd. A spray of teeth and blood from the jaw of another. Several of them are knocked to the ground, but most of them are still standing.
Okay. I mean, it's making it easier for them so far. So, yeah. And yeah, she just repeats her message. All loyalist militia to the town hall. Come on, survivors this way.
Alright.
Help
Down
you
in the far corner, a group of the militia are clawed to the ground and killed by the insane civilians. But two groups do begin running towards you, firing firing at the civilians attacking the las cannon group.
Don't die, Hugh.
For fuck's sakes.
Stop dying, Hugh.
Not allowed. I said so.
Okay. Firing at the civilians attacking the las cannon crew. They too have switched their weapons to low power, and only one of the civilians is knocked down under the fusillade. But it is one less.
Yeah, every little bit helps.
These guys stay by this door, doing as they're told, keeping watch.
Mm-hmm.
And this group of civilians is going to chase these guys down.
Oof.
Alright. All of you give me another willpower roll, except for Flux.
Interesting.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm in the eye of the
Two.
Same.
Both of you feel free to spend some glory.
Oh, I also
Yeah.
got us one.
Don't kill each other.
No guarantees.
Yeah.
3.
All
And
right.
I'm
I'll
going
spend.
to
Yeah.
request you also roll a glory.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right.
Nice. So that brings Riven to 4.
Now we have no glory. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, you feel another wave of rage wash over you all. Flux, it doesn't feel as intense as it did before for you, and you're able to resist it more easily, almost effortlessly. Riven, you are forced to your knees as you have to grit your teeth and summon all of your willpower to fight off this urge to lash out at the closest person. Nualia, you too are driven to your knees as this overwhelming urge to open fire on the militia running towards you, desperation in their eyes. It takes every ounce of willpower you have, every scrap of faith in the Emperor's protection. And you will be hindered too for your next turn, Nualia.
Okay.
How much different is this than how pissed I actually am right now?
This is a primal, aggressive urge to spill blood, to feel hot flesh against your skin, to rip out an organism's beating heart.
Okay.
So basically, the kind of rage that Agril feels on a regular basis.
I guess this is not a normal Riven emotion for sure.
You seem to think that Agril is angry. Only at greenskins.
That's
Only
fair.
and Tyranids.
Of course, Tyranids.
Yes.
And humans.
Nah,
then
you're
you-
alright.
Wrong way.
But anyone who gets
Yeah.
in the book.
Flux, you feel that familiar sensation of rage creeping up, but the image of that civilian woman's face as you shot her down keeps flashing to the forefront of your mind. And with that haunting gaze of fury and pain, you are able to fight off that urge, remembering what it leads to.
Nothing like the trauma of your own actions to keep down on the vile forces of chaos.
Hey, if it works.
Listen. Listen.
There's a reason the Imperium venerates martyrdom.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to sneak down the hole.
Yeah, you continue down, and you can see that this tunnel extends quite deep and has many branches ahead. It seems many basements and cellars have been connected into a network at some point in the relatively recent past, judging by the state of the lighting. As you creep down, you listen for the sound of chanting. Go ahead and give me another awareness roll.
Can I sneak? Yes. Do I know where I'm going? No.
You're in danger.
You strain your ears, Flux, but you can't make out where the sound is coming from. You're not
Listen,
sure if
all
it's
of
down
this is
or...
Riven's fault, really, for blowing
yeah.
out my ears.
Packard creeps up behind you, placing a hand on your shoulder, and pauses to listen, frowning in concentration. And for a good 30, 40 seconds, he says nothing before he nods once and gestures further down the hallway. Back up top, Nualia, you have been driven to your knees. Angrotrom, you dash past the militiaman, leaping over the rubble and running down the stone stairs into this cellar. You can see the tunnel knocked through a wall, and at the end you can see Riven and Feely peering down a junction.
Nualia is seeing the civilians that are quickly bearing down on the retreating soldiers. Is go from her kneeling position is going to somewhat weakly call out, "Behind you!" and raise her lasgun, take aim, and fire at the civilians.
Alright, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
And you said I was hindered?
Yes.
Okay.
That means the DN is +2.
Okay. And aiming gives me +1 to the attack dice.
And
right?
good news, civilians are
dice.
really easy to murder.
Yeah. 7.
Still using low
When you roll
power?
like that.
Still using low power.
Alright, you can hit multiple or do more damage. Your choice.
Okay, so I can only shift one die, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll hit multiple.
Alright.
You can also shift to glory.
Actually, hold on. So, hold on. If I don't hit multiple, I'm essentially just hitting one of the civilians, right?
You will hit 2.
2. How many are running up?
About 6.
I'll do more damage.
Alright.
No, I will not do more damage. Stop dying.
Alright then. Yeah, you unleash a hail of lasfire. It scatters across them, burning holes in their motley arrangement of clothing. Most of them appear to have been wearing sleeping attire, pajamas, nightgowns, etc. Several of them are dropped to a knee or are pushed back by the impact. Their skin blistered and burned, but they push forward. As they do, one of the running group of out of the group of militia running towards you, 3 of them stumble, one dropping to his knees, clutching at their heads. And they rise with a murderous gleam in their eyes.
Yikes.
As do a group of 3 by the las cannon team.
Awesome.
Alright then. So, down in the tunnel, Flux, you and Packard creep along. Riven, Packard gestures for you to move up as he disappears further down the tunnel.
Do.
You creep your way down, Flux, past one junction, then another. When you reach the third, a tunnel leading off to your right, Packard raises a hand and listens again. He gestures down the branch to the right, which you can see there's a well-worn furrow along the rough stone ground leading down this particular path.
I am going to continue to sneak down that way.
All right. you continue deeper in the dark. The lit lanterns flickering in the gloom. And you see the tunnel ahead widens out. And you can see what look like curtains hung across the tunnel, about 30, 40 feet down.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and see if I can, like, get over to the curtains, and if there's a crack in there, that'll let me see what's going on in the room. I mean, I assume there's a room.
Yeah, as you creep up and peer through, you see a wide stone chamber, roughly carved out of the bedrock. There seem to be beds and a couple of desks, a few bookshelves with knickknacks and personal effects on them. At the far end, you can see a couple of tunnels also lead in on the left and right. And at the far end of the chamber is a large stone door set into the wall. And you can see about 6 people standing around wearing civilian clothing with the militia armband, carrying las guns. Their weapons are raised and pointed at the various tunnel entrances, but they don't seem to notice you.
They are not doing the chanting thing.
They are not. You can hear it more clearly now. Seems to be coming from behind the stone door.
I would like you to meet my friend, Mr. G.
Is it the sleepy time?
It is very much the time for you to go to the sleep.
It is time to no more be awake.
All right. Agrotrom, you catch up with... well, we will flick to... since it's near the end of the session, we'll flick to Riven and Agrotrom and leave Flux there, and we'll come back to that next session.
Oh, I was literally just gonna rush ahead. I was like, "Heretics, yes!" And he's... and if he gets any
Yes,
response,
but
that's it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He hears heretics. He keeps running.
Agrotrom, you run down the tunnel, turn the corner that you saw Riven go down, and see a long tunnel with many different junctions leading off it. You have no idea which one Packard
Right.
and Flux went down.
Can I clothesline Agrotrom?
Probably.
Please, yes.
I imagine that'd be opposed.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a post strength rolls, but Riven, you can use the bonus from your
It's your
server.
arm. Yeah, I was. Oh yeah, your strength is gonna be way higher than mine, but I just.
But Agril
I
did
feel like-
just get you a glory too now.
I assume I can't use that for this, which is fine. I won't.
I mean, you
alright.
could if the others agreed. I think
No,
it would be a
it's
little
fine.
unfair.
I feel like it
Yeah,
would.
no.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
it would be
totally.
unfair to use. No, I feel like in an opposed check, it would be unfair
Yeah.
to use someone
Yeah.
else's glory that they just got.
That's fine. That
Yeah.
didn't happen. I did not succeed. I don't think.
Yeah, Riven, you slam out your servo arm to try and catch Agrotrom, but being a squat, you misjudge the height a bit, and he ducks under.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm coming for you!
Idiot.
Flux,
Alright.
you hear this shout echo down the tunnel behind you. And the men in the room raise their weapons towards your tunnel.
I'm sorry. Hey, look, at least
I'm gonna
he's...
start running after him.
Nualia,
I hate
you are
all.
rapidly running out of people to save.
Hmm.
That is a depressing sentence right there.
Yeah. Nualia is going to look behind her, say, Lanewald, how are you holding up?
Lamewald is just staggered down the corridor, hefting the heavy stubber. I'm winded, boss, but I can still fight.
Lanewold, I think the best thing right now is to drop the heavy stubber. If this overtakes either of us, we don't want to shoot each other.
She frowns but gives you a nod, dropping the heavy stubber and pulling out her las gun.
Noelio nods and is gonna look out and take some aimed shots at this fresh group.
Alright. Still on low power?
Yep. She's even if it means like a couple people get stabbed, she's gonna save whoever she can.
Alright.
Another crit.
Go ahead and give me a 2d6.
11.
Alright. Yeah, you crack off a trio of shots. Each one slams into a civilian's face. You see teeth explode out of crushed jaws. Noses crumpled. Faces riven with severe burns. They drop to the ground in crumpled heaps.
Yes. Clearly life eating out of a straw for the rest of existence is much better than death.
Life still being able to work for the Emperor and his glory is better than death.
I know.
Like, me as a player, yeah, no, I agree with you. This is worse. This it would be better to just put them out of their misery and save whoever is actually alive and sane. But as far as she's concerned, like, nah, you can still go to work in a factorum.
Fair enough. And yeah, will.
I was gonna say, should I roll damage for other stuff, or was that pretty much just like the
the
people
crit
I
was
hit
good
were
enough.
down? Okay.
That was a headshot, and you'd already wounded several of them.
Okay.
But yeah, we will leave it there for today, as your time in this town has turned decidedly for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And we will come back. We'll come back next week and hopefully resolve this escapade.
Boy, I hope
One
so.
way or another.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining in on this.
Yeah, good times.
I was gonna say silence all around.
It's I feel like we're
Sorry, I
all
was a little busy making my notes.
Oh yeah. About to frag grenade approximately 6 guards for the cultist. Nice. Also want to murder the dwarf. But yeah.
All my answer, my answer to this is I'm sorry.
But you're not. And you shouldn't be. But thank you
I can be as sorry as I want.
Thank you to Unilescus Aeons for the follow. And hello to everybody else that has been watching. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed, and hope to see you all next time.
Yes.
Have a good one. Actually, let me see who's on at the moment. Evelyn's on. Let's go say hi to Evelyn. She's playing Phasmophobia.
Woo.
Yeah. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a good night.
Good night, kid.
Bye.
Good night.
Sleepy Time Junction.
I hope you get lost in the catacomb.
Forever.
What's gonna happen